What is up, party people? So, we are here in lieu of Jose being asleep still. Damn you, Jose. For everyone that knows the bunker, the link is in the bunker already. I will send out to a few people in the YouTube Messenger that I know use it here. I'll put it in the panel. Let me see here. All right, so sent that out to a few of you. So check your YouTubes. I'm hoping them comes in only because I really would like to have a conversation with him about a few things he's been saying in the background. How you doing, farmers? I'm doing great. Now, you got to experience Glim, as I did in the chat. It was weird, mainly because like when he started yesterday, he was perfect. It was like the information he was giving us, it may have gone, it may have skewed here and there, but it was pretty spot on. It was pretty good. It was at least, a good explanation for what he believed. But the second Rumpus came in, all hell break loose. Wait. Yeah, and yesterday was like a perfect example of how being an asshole doesn't work. And I like Rumpus. He's smart as shit. The problem is that he's too arrogant in what he thinks he knows. So he has to talk. There's no other way around it. Oh no. He doesn't have to be right. He is right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's put it this way. I'm wrong all the time, but no one's calling me out. It's because he does that, and then when the second he says something, he missays something because he's in a rant. He's in a high-speed rant. Everyone calls him on it. Oh, not at all. Yeah. Yeah. Well, mm, I think he gets wound up. Period. Oh yeah, Rumpus takes it to a new level. Yeah. Oh, did I do that shit? Oh, I hit the button. My bad. My apologies. I hit the button. I have a little button that I hit that turns everything on and off. My apologies, people.
Can you hear us now? Yeah.
Again, they don't say much. I think they said a couple. Shawn, you're great. You're the most awesome person around. Like they were saying stuff like that. Don't worry about it though.
well, that's right then. As long as somebody's singing your praises.
Yeah, of
but
course.
yeah, it's all to do with getting your point across and having a discussion without just and I hate to say it, coming in like a wrecking ball, but he did. He does, and he did.
I'm kind of just waiting for everything to catch up because I think. All right, now they can hear you. All right, never mind. You're good.
Hey.
Jason? Why do you keep saying Arwen wants his viewers back? Arwen streams 4 hours ahead of me.
I was going to say.
Are you sure, Dingus?
Wait, hang on. Why does everyone keep saying there's no sound?
Maybe there's no sound.
But that doesn't make sense for there to be no sound, seeing how I just turned it on. I heard it. I can hear you.
No, but yeah, no, are people reacting to the chat or are they reacting to us?
Jason, why do you keep saying Arwen wants his
Wait,
video back?
Shawn, remember the
Streamed
chat's
4 hours
delayed, right?
Yeah, but it shouldn't have been delayed that bad.
That much. Tyranids, eh? I don't know about that. The Great Devourer.
Okay, I know they can hear you now. They're commenting on what you said.
That's all right then. They must be able to hear us.
Well, I just turned the
That's usually a
speakers on
good
a
sign.
couple times.
If you call everybody rude names and they respond, they can hear you. Yeah.
Exactly. There you go.
Oh look, they're trolling you with no sound.
Oh, okay. I know it is. Okay.
No, they can hear you. I just checked. They can definitely hear you.
All right, cool. So we were just talking about Gleam. There you go.
Gleam.
Very smart, intelligent man. He's smart shit. You can tell he has an understanding of what he believes, at least.
Unlike a lot of people.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, I kept out that whole conversation because it's not something I know a great deal about. When you start talking about, what's going on in between galaxies and everything else, it's like, yeah, whatever. I'll stick to what I know. Thank you very much.
Personally, I know absolutely nothing about Electric Universe. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing I know about Electric Universe is Plasma is like their god. Like, right. If you can't figure out an answer, Plasma it.
It's like perspective, except plasma.
Yeah, exactly.
That bad, is it?
Yeah, well, where is Glink? He's usually around by now, right? Because he has to get on here, because if he doesn't, then I have to go and read off his shit. God damn it, I'm going to do that. Because I'm not going to wait for him, that's for damn sure. But what he typed was, and I realized it's a mixture between reality, observable reality, and him misconstruing we're trying to figure this out or something like that. Yeah. I'll be able to explain better once I get to the comments.
Hello, Carlos. Give us a wave. Hey, I was busy driving. Fair enough.
Did you shave again? God damn it. Who keeps telling you to shave? My face is itchy. You shouldn't have shaved it in the first place.
Why are you so hung up about his face fungus? I mean,
because now he looks his age, and it's weird. He's the new guy on the block now.
Because he's a young'un compared to the rest of us.
Now, yeah,
Satcher excluded, obviously.
Because he was the olden before he shaved. Everyone spotted him 50 years old, easy.
What's up with all this bromance, man?
I don't know. I don't get it, mate. I don't know why they're all so concerned.
It's not a bromance.
Bromance, bro.
No, there's no love going on with that thing you got going. Do the full beard and stop fucking around. Stop it. Fuck.
Oh, it's right. the Christmas poo.
You're lucky you're a cool guy, Carlos. Otherwise, we just wouldn't talk to you at all.
Harsh.
No, it was the nice version. I made sure I said it nice. For people that don't know what I'm doing, I'm actually waiting for my comments to load up. YouTube beta sucks ass. So you guys know. Like, seriously, I don't know why YouTube does this with this YouTube beta crap. You have 0 options. Can't use it.
Hello?
Hi. Welcome to the stream.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Just about.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we got you.
It's not a phone call. It's a hangout.
I don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything?
You go on mute?
You don't hear anything?
No, I can't hear anything.
Okay.
He's being a dick.
Let me know when you start hearing something. All right.
So, Shawn, Can't you just switch to YouTube regular? Isn't there a little option?
Yeah, I did. I'm just saying, man. Dang. I'm killing time until I got there. Jeez. All right, so I'm here. Now, I was going to share it, but why? I'll just read what he was saying. So it all kind of started off with farmers saying the Earth is still observably a globe. Just saying. And Glenn went on his.
We're on that, are we? Oh, I've got all of those comments open.
Oh yeah. Well, why don't you read it? No, I'm not going to read your. I'm just reading his shit, and we can just talk through what he said. But I don't think.
Because I looked this morning, and the only comments on your YouTube on that discussion last night, it was all Gleam saying this, that, and the other, and basically having to go at people and backing himself up. And I thought, yeah, whatever. And like I said, the Earth is still observably a globe. Just saying, because I thought I'm not getting into all of that. I really don't care. I'm not interested. But the Earth is a globe, okay? And that's pretty much it. Oh boy.
Yeah. So everyone knows pretty much what Gleam did was start at the beginning of the stream, and he probably watched all of the stream that he was on, because periodically he just starts time stamping things and saying farmers did this, or Rumpus said this, or
did that. Yeah,
George said this. And then I got here.
Farmers did oopsie.
I end up coming and checking the comments, and I just see a Glim novel is what I call it. Gleam novel.
Yeah.
And I commented in it, and I'm telling them, hey, these theories work, blah, 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 space-time works, blah, blah, blah. And so this is where at least my interaction with him started, and I knew what was going on. He says, Shawn G, they do not, we're talking about the theories of gravity. Or, yeah, theories of gravity. He says, Shawn G, they do not work. Just one search on the new theory of gravity, and you will see physics in a crisis mode. And they are not happy about it. See the 50-minute lecture. The professor literally states she is embarrassed for science, and as they are stumped, that actually does a rumpus about it, but calling science morons. Now, I'm almost positive, and I can be almost a guarantee on this, they weren't talking about gravity. Maybe they were talking about a certain theory of gravity they were talking about in that 50-minute lecture. Science, I don't think science is stumped. I think their jobs are extremely hard. Trying to figure out everything for you, Gleam. The one thing, so because I've read all these, I know what he's doing. He's saying phenomena. Science is wrong. Where in reality is science found that phenomena. Science found
it's one of those words, isn't it?
Yeah, I hate that. And right before I start to say it, I go, "Do not mess it up," and I do every time. Science found that thing, and then whether they can explain bits of it or all of it, yes, they're open to that. That's what they do. That's what we know they do. Nothing more, nothing less. So every time someone keeps criticizing science as these liars, science doesn't lie. Science isn't a person.
No.
Or peer review. Okay, well, yeah. You know what? There are some pretty sketchy ass. What do you call those? Not groups. Institutes, or whatever the fuck those science clubs call themselves these days. The older nerds. There is bias
institutions.
In them. Thank you, sir. In these science institutions, there are biases. I don't care whether one school's working on this and the other school happen to be working against it. The reality of it is, though, that other school, they're gonna out them. That's just the reality. There's always someone who wants to say they are lying. Here's the reality. How do I know? We do it on a regular basis. The only difference is we come with shit. Flat Earth doesn't.
Yeah.
Also, maybe if, say, scientists got gravity a little bit wrong, that doesn't disprove the shape of the Earth we live on.
Wait.
There's
No. There's nothing that we know of gravity here on the surface of Earth, and as Gleam states it, a small scale. That's wrong.
yeah.
So that means on this small scale, it's right. Now
Mhm.
he goes into it and says, this is part of the same comment. He says, the one question which is why I got you to pay Eric Valerian, that guy from yesterday, the gravity guy, his video to make 2 points. If gravity works, then why are we even wasting time with alternative theories like the mod? I think it's called mode or mod. I've never even heard this one. LAMDCDM. What's LAMDCDM? I don't know. That's weird. And then tropic gravity.
Well, I can tell
Tropic,
you
I'm
why.
sorry, tropic.
It's the same thing that they did with math. It's like, sure, normal math works, so why do we need to develop calculus? Because calculus can do more. It's a further branch of mathematics. It's the same thing with
It's more better.
it's the same thing with gravity. It works at a small scale, but if you develop a bigger theory, then it will wrap around what we know right now and work at both the small scale and the large scale.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
we're gonna. He's here! Yay! I'd rather you be on the panel. What the hell just happened? I just lost my watch page. Oh no! Good thing that didn't matter. Hang on. I'm gonna put the link. I'll put the link out there for you, Gleam, in a second. How did you get it yesterday? I think I put it in the chat, didn't I?
You sent it to him on Discord, I think, or maybe you put it in chat.
You get in the case of the Hawkins. You don't know what you're doing on the computer.
Oh no, I'll never get a case of that. That's bad. His is real bad.
Hey, Shawn, did you ever get a response from the people at LIGO?
Nope. No response.
Nope.
Oh, that's a shame.
They did a background check and found out they was going to bring all of us, and they said, "Fuck this shit."
No, I take all of you guys out of my anythings. You guys don't exist in my real world.
That's just all I see.
Oh dear.
I'm saying we
How
couldn't
you
behave
doing,
for
Mr. Pooh?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Are you all moved?
We are moving the shop, and for those of you that have never had to level a chassis dyno before on a completely not level barn floor, it is so much fun.
I bet that's a world of chuckles, isn't it?
Right.
Oh yeah.
What's up, guys?
But I just want to understand.
No, because they would assume that it would mean flat.
That's what I was just about to ask. Did you make it level or did you make it flat?
It's fucking level.
Now, here's the question for flat earthers: if you put an egg on a flat surface, would it roll off the surface?
Boom.
Would it? Or can an egg roll off of a flat surface? And if they say no, then they're ignorant because it can't.
Ignorant.
If it's not level, then you know what?
The thing is, this was already explained. I think it was 3 years ago now by Red's Rhetoric to Debbie Duran when he showed he showed a picture of a shelf and he said it's flat, but is it level? And she would not answer. But
you know what else is flat? My walls are fairly flat. That doesn't mean they're level. The side of my walls. They're
well, so the badly put up bookcase. You know, the bookshelf be flat, but it's level.
It's level with the others, walls?
Well, they could all be on the piss, couldn't they? Be flat.
My computer screen is flat, but it's not level.
My abs are level, but they're not flat.
There might just be a reason why we have two different words.
Again, you guys are wanting to debate theoretical science with people who can't figure out the internal angles of a triangle.
Don't speak for
60, 60, 60. Nailed it. Unless it's non-Euclidean.
Ah,
Right.
now you're making it complicated.
Well,
All right, we're going to continue on. I think Glim's going to be here in a little bit. And then, until then,
S.E. Montreal.
Did y'all hear Bob yesterday recount the conversation that he had with Slick, where he told him about the angles of a non-Euclidean flight path, and Slick came back and said that conversation never happened.
Oh yes, that was in yesterday's hangout, wasn't it?
That was great.
Slick had absolutely claimed to have no idea who Bob was, having spoken to him or anything.
And I'm only left to conclude that he is indeed a Poe.
I got that vibe a while back, but
you haven't
Because
noticed
Bob predicted that before he said anything.
You haven't noticed that Slick has taken himself off the actual flat Earth list. He's now sitting fenced. You guys haven't noticed that?
Oh, he's never.
Oh yeah.
Well,
He's fencing the shit out of it right now.
He goes back and forth because yesterday I did hear at one point that he did call himself a flat earther.
No. Okay, so he'll call himself a flat earther. He'll even argue for flat Earth. But if you really pay attention to Slick himself, he is backing away from flat Earth step by step.
Yeah, he's not subscribing to anything. He would not subscribe to anything. I mean, just with a conversation with him, he won't give you a solid answer. He would just,
Okay,
say,
guys, you guys have like. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna. I wondered if you heard me yesterday ask him how sore his crotch was from sitting on the fence.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
I remember that. That was.
Yeah, it must get bloody uncomfortable after a while.
Right. What we all have to remember is don't worry about Slick. You just worry about your own self.
Yeah, we just got to worry about ourselves.
Hang on, guys.
Yeah.
Lenny, shout out to Lenny and his unhealthy vegan brothers and sisters. You happy?
Yes.
You happy, Lenny?
You left out the last bit.
Yeah, cigarette. Is that good enough?
Did you guys see the presentation yesterday on? Sorry, Carlos.
I wonder if Brenda and Slick ever had their makeup sex.
No. And shut up, because Sasha. What were you saying about the presentation?
I apologize.
There was a presentation yesterday.
Go ahead, keep going.
There was a presentation yesterday by Paul on the plane on the moon landing. Did you guys catch that?
I saw the first 5 minutes of that, and I pissed myself laughing so much I had to stop watching it.
You're kidding me, right, Farmer's Boy? You didn't find that enlightening?
Enlightening for possibly all the wrong reasons, but to hear him keep sort of echoing things that have been debunked a long time ago, I just say it was 5 or 10 minutes, and I thought I just can't watch this anymore because it's just shit.
Paul on the planes don't know how a MEMS device works.
See, I'm confused because he used to be like a credible flat earther. Like, he used to like come flat Earth evidence, I guess you would call it at the time. He's like super troll now, isn't he?
Well, if that was
I don't think so.
Oh yeah,
because like he does a live stream, a 24-hour live stream, but no one's ever there.
Well, there's no place for truth. There's no place for flat Earth evidence anymore. It seems it's just the only way for them to get by is to get into that troll mode.
Wait. There was never flat Earth evidence. I've never heard.
Well,
what? Name one.
it looks flat.
I can name you one.
Yeah, it looks flat. The horizon looks flat. Is evidence. It's not proof.
Well, it looks flat.
I can name you one.
It looks flat because of the size of the globe and because of the amount of area you're only able to see at one given time.
Right. And that's why Spurs has to get more and more and more extreme.
You can figure out. Oh, sorry.
Say again, Carlos?
No, go ahead, Schrodinger's. He was talking first.
well, actually, Montreal said he had an item of evidence.
Oh, well, then let's listen to him.
That's what I was listening to. But
Sure, you guys could get a laugh out of this, especially Sorcingers, because he's the only one that knows this stuff. It's called the Sea Sparrow missile.
Oh yeah, I don't know that stuff.
Yep.
That's the naval version of the Sparrow missile, isn't it? As employed by US fighters.
Correct.
Well,
The Sea Sparrow missile.
Yeah. What about it?
It has line of sight. It has line of sight for 35 miles. Pencil beam radar on the ship. Impossible on around Earth.
Substantiate that claim.
If you want to know more, QE did a full presentation on it with citations and all. I know you're going to laugh. I know you guys are going to laugh, but check it out. The proof is in the pudding.
Yep, I actually did that. That was Ballbusters 17, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And that was a bucket of chuckles.
Hey, wait. How do you take quantum eraser seriously? Like, when was the last time you saw a college professor?
Hang on. How far did you say? How far did you say it went? Montreal. How far?
35 miles.
Do you know what the range of the Sea Sparrow is?
It's classified, apparently.
No, it's 10 nautical miles.
No, there's different. There's different variations of it, sir.
The R-8M7 Sea Sparrow, the US shipborne short-range anti-aircraft and anti-missile weapon system, has an operational range of 10 nautical miles or 19 kilometres at a speed of, it's going on some, 2,645 miles an hour with semi-active radar homing, which means it's got its own radar head.
Wait.
That
doesn't even make sense. Why would
Sea Sparrow?
So hold on, FE Montreal, can you
hang on? Stop, because I'm confused. Why would there be a missile with only 10 miles range?
Because it's specifically a short range.
Weapon.
Yeah, it's a short range missile.
Like
so
fire artillery.
If you've got if you've got stuff being fired at your ship, and historically the opponent was the Russians, and they love their big cruise missiles, particularly the ones they can launch from aircraft and badges and things. So you pick that up coming in on your radar, and you think, hello, there's a dirty great big cruise missile coming at us, or more probably 4 or 6. What do? You fire these missiles back at them, and you hope to hit them at a half decent range.
And the max range of CWIS is only about 3 nautical miles.
Okay, so this is just the same thing as an Abram tank range versus a smaller tank range. That's all it is. Just what it's used for.
It's a short range
anti-aircraft missile.
Yeah.
Think about it, guys. I mean, if it was the biggest, baddest sumbitch in the world, would you call it a Sparrow?
Actually, yeah.
True. And I would also like to ask.
I wish they would have named like the bombs that we dropped over Japan. I wish they would have called them like Mouse.
Call it a damn bald eagle or pterodactyl or something, not a goddamn sparrow for crying out.
If Quantum Eraser was here, I would love to ask him, but since he's not, I want to ask Montreal, what is semi-active radar?
Sometimes working. Duh.
No.
That was a joke, damn it.
Look, I'm not an expert on this, but all I know is it's a pencil beam radar. It's approximately an inch or 2 wide maximum. It's based on the ship. So the only way that it can see 35 miles is on a flat surface. There's no other way.
Why? Because from the pilot house of a destroyer, I can see about 12. And then so up on the mast, you have much longer range than that. Plus,
it's not on the mast.
To remember,
it's not on the mast. Sorry to interrupt you.
Well, no, you're not sorry to interrupt me because you're interrupting me. So, if the missile is in the air, it's not on the surface, correct?
Correct. Obviously.
Thank you.
So what does that mean?
Oh, Shawn, you've got the super duper version there.
Well, on a the higher you go in elevation, the further you can see. Correct?
Yes.
I just told you guys it's not high. It's right on the deck of the ship. It has a picture of it. It's all explained.
Okay,
Watch.
do you see that?
Blockbuster 17.
What is that rocket doing? That missile doing right there?
Going up.
Yes.
They're not a lot of good if you leave them on the deck of the ship.
Oh, that's very. You went to high school for that one, eh?
You actually have to fire the thing. Well, I'm trying to explain it so that you can understand it, Montreal.
Listen, I don't understand what you guys don't get of what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Like,
said
it's
it had
very
to be
simple.
right.
Can if what I'm saying is true, can the Earth be flat? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Is it possible for a missile to travel 35 miles line of sight on a flat Earth? Yes or no?
Sure, it can. And
Look,
the Earth is
again.
Unfortunately, the Earth's not flat; it's round.
Yeah.
Sure.
You keep believing that.
No.
Well,
Can you show me a rocket that they don't launch in some type of up direction? I mean, they don't shoot straight across.
We've been working on subterranean.
What does that have to do on the initial launch? The rocket may initially launch up, but it'll level off. Some of them skim the water.
Okay, but you do
You
realize
use the radar to
even if it made that missile went 35 miles, once it gains altitude, why wouldn't 35-mile line of sight be possible? Do you know, like, that's not very far.
Because it's from the ship.
really
It's
is.
from the ship. You guys don't understand that. It's not on the missile. It's on the ship.
Okay, again.
The missile has its own radar.
No. Again, you do not know what semi-active radar is.
Am I not correct that the radar is on the ship? Is that true or not?
Radars on
Yes or no?
So, semi-active radar.
Don't tell me about semi-active radar. Tell me where the radar is located. Am I correct in saying it's on the ship?
But that's what the missile's got, and it makes a huge difference.
You're not understanding that.
No, I am understanding it. You're trying to avoid the fact.
It says semi-active radar homing. Says is a common type of missile guidance system, perhaps the most common type of longer range air-to-air or surface-to-air missile systems. The name refers to this missile itself is only a passive detector of radar signal provided by the semi-active missile systems use. I just skipped a whole fucking line. Damn. Provided by an external off-board source, as it reflects off the target. In contrast to the active radar homing, which uses an active radar transceiver, semi-active missile systems use ballistic continuous wave radar. That made zero sense to me at all. That's why I don't like reading shit.
There's a radar system on the ship that's painting the target. It's firing radar at the target. The missile sees the reflection of that radar itself. It picks up on the reflection, and that's what helps guide it in. Now, the radar system on the ship is not going to be on the deck. It's going to be up higher, which gives it more range. Mm-hmm. And reading up on you were showing the evolved Sea Sparrow missile, the very latest Block 2 missiles have a dual semi-active and active radar homing. So it has both. So not only can it follow the radar reflections being painted on the target from the ship that launched it, it can also switch its own radar on and go, oh yeah, I've got it. Thank you very much.
So it has the same technology as a drone does, basically, then. In the sense of visual.
What's happening is you have like it's passive, which means the missile doesn't have active radar, so it's going towards what it's painted towards, and then in its terminal phase it becomes active, and then it says, oh, okay, so it had like this gross direction that it was flying towards, and then when it becomes active, it's steering itself.
Yeah, it's the same. It's definitely the same system as where troops on the ground will have a transmitter or a beacon, basically, and they will point that beacon at a certain point, and that's.
Are you talking about laser guided bombs when they paint the target with a laser? And then the bomb that an aircraft has dropped from like 2 miles away. Yeah, it's the same thing. It sees the reflections of the laser light that you're pointing at the target, and the bomb goes, oh yeah, I can see you now. Thank you very much. I know where I'm going. Well,
Exactly.
this was doing the same thing with radar. The
But it
radar
does it itself, though.
well, the Block 2 missile does, yes, but the original one and the original Sea Sparrow, not this super duper version, it saw the target because the radar being fired at it from the ship, it can see the radar signals bouncing off it, and it follows that.
Okay.
And what I would like to ask Montreal is, why did you just wholesale believe what Quantum Eraser said without looking into it yourself?
I did look into it. It's you guys that haven't seen what he presented that are commenting on it. I did my research. I checked what he said. It makes a lot of sense to me. You guys are, with the exception of Schrodinger, are talking from the side of your mouths.
Actually, I haven't said anything besides, you know, the obvious part. So I have not.
Yeah,
I just got here. I want to point something out here that we get us, you know, aka Glovers. We get called parrots because we parrot everything. Yet this is like the third time that Montreal here has come up and say, "Hey guys, do you see the video from Darren? Hey, do you see this video?" And he's just parroting what you saw. So who's the parrot here?
I'm just bringing up a topic that I find interesting. I'm not parroting anything. I want your guys' opinion. That's all.
Here's my
don't take it the wrong way,
guys. Because everyone wants.
So I've got Jacob Cream Crackers here. If anyone wants any.
What?
Jacob's Cream Crackers.
Oh God.
Oh yes, please.
Okay, so
you got some cheese.
So this is the issue. First, this is the one I want to address first. I know there's a lot of people here, and there's only one guy talking for Flat Earth. You guys can't all do this. Gotta stop. We have to check ourselves. I do it too. So gotta stop. But more importantly, I will address what Montreal just addressed. Our opinion. What I do is you explain to us that this missile that I now have on the screen, I'm pretty sure this is the correct one, has a direct line of sight and doesn't have a trajectory of an altitude trajectory that would gain altitude. They're showing one firing right now, and that's probably as low of a trajectory as those things will ever get. They don't ever fire missiles like straight level. They don't ever do that. It doesn't make sense. It would drop from there.
Yeah, bearing in mind that these missiles are designed that they're self-defense. They're designed to take out incoming aircraft, cruise missiles, what have you. Certainly, aircraft are probably going to be higher.
I want you guys to keep one thing in mind, though. There's different variants, and they've also been upgraded. Now, the latest
version, that earlier. Yes, he was showing the ESSM.
Right. The latest versions are incorporated with AWACS systems. Like a person could be on a mountain and pinpoint. There's all different variants, but I'm talking a particular one.
My problem with it is that you say it's a proof, but it doesn't work in a system. It's just one standalone fact. There's not...
Oh, this has nothing to do with the shape of Earth. This what we're having a conversation about right now does nothing.
Nothing to do with it.
Well, it does in a way, guys.
No, because here's the thing. Because even if we're pretending now it was flat, they're still firing those missiles like that. They're not going to ever fire missiles straight like that. It just doesn't make sense.
But you're missing the point. You're missing the point here. It's not about the missile. Mm-hmm. It's about the range.
Okay, but
forget the missile.
But you got to remember, it was explained that these systems, it's not a system where the boat alone is the radar is transmitting and receiving the signal, or transmitting the signal, or whatever.
Shawn,
this is where the problem lies.
Why?
Shawn,
because I'm explaining to you there is that type. There is a type that does exactly that, but you guys are not listening. You're talking about the other variants.
Montreal, you're trying to say that the radar. Hey, just a minute, Carlos. Montreal, you're trying to say that the radar can see 35 miles, right? That's really what you're...
That's exactly what I'm saying, yes.
Okay.
And that shouldn't happen.
And if the radar can see 35 miles, therefore the Earth must be flat. That's your point. I just want
the Earth must be bigger than they tell us.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's flat. It's bigger than they tell us.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to be sure that everybody was hearing what you were actually trying to tell us.
Look, I hope you guys can prove me wrong. I want to put this issue to rest, but
What kind of
things don't jive.
Did you know that the SPS-49 air search radar can see much, much farther than that?
Cliff, what type of ship would this radar system and this missile system be on?
A Navy ship.
No, hold on.
I believe it's a destroyer. No, a missile cruiser. I think
all manner of ships carry the Sea Sparrow, including amphibious ships. I believe
or I guess
destroyers and cruisers.
Montreal, do you know the ship that he was talking about?
I don't remember the specific ship. No.
Okay, so we're gonna say, Cliff, a battleship would be probably the most common.
No. Why did you just say that?
Because
I don't think they even use battleships anymore.
Battleships have been decommissioned since the 80s.
Oh, okay. My bad. Well, can you tell me a boat that would have these rockets on it normally?
No boat would have a Sea Sparrow missile on it.
Can you just answer the question, dickhead?
You could you'll certainly find them on destroyers, cruisers. Do they still use cruisers?
They don't put them on tug ships, though.
Yes,
they're also part of the battle group of the.
Let me make this clear.
Your terminology is so
Cliff,
horrible.
Tell me a goddamn boat so I can type it in here and tell Montreal how high their radar system is.
LHD-3 USS Kearsarge.
There you go. He told you.
You think you're just gonna be blurting shit out, and I'm like, oh, okay, blah blah. No, I'm high.
Did I not just
do exactly may I ask you a question?
Asked me to do?
Say one more time.
LHD.
I would like to ask Rosinger a question.
Can I finish answering Sean's question?
Sorry.
Lima Hotel Delta -3 USS Kearsarge.
All right. Okay, do I have to show
Rosinger, while he's looking... Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Vertical launching system.
Good evening. Goedemiddag.
Hello.
Thank you. I was wondering, Rosinger, you have more knowledge than any one of us since seeing you've been like 30 years on the ocean.
On a boat.
I'd like to pick your brain here. Have you ever looked far? Have you ever wondered how far? Like, what's your experience on this?
Something's happening, and someone needs to thank you.
So I've just been listening to the whole Sea Sparrow discussion, and it's a bit of a red herring in my view. I actually did a bit of work years ago for a company called Raycal. And part of what they were doing at the time, it was an MOD bid for, it's out of date now, to create an analog targeting system with a digital conversion, and it was really problematic. So one of the reasons that we went to painting with radar and active radar is because of the differential of accuracy based on range. Now, the problem you have with the Sea Sparrow, and there are variants that do go beyond 10 miles, is they're actually designed for surface-to-air engagement, where the horizon isn't a problem. It's a total non sequitur. It's meaningless.
And that's exactly what I've been saying.
I just wanted to come in and support you, Cliff. I heard you. I felt your pain. There are 4 main variants of the Sea Sparrow that are currently in use, as far as I know. And most commonly, the one that's installed is the 10-mile short-range engagement, because you wouldn't bother using surface-to-surface, because pretty much every ship that can carry it has accurate artillery that will extend out beyond 10 kilometers or 10 miles. So therefore, you're targeting that shit you can't hit with your guns, and that tends to be air engagement, either for missile, helicopter, or aircraft.
How about the low-flying missiles that destroy the ship's hull?
Then that's fine. You'll hit that when it gets within horizon radar.
No,
yep, or Sea-Wiz will take care of it.
Isn't that,
yeah, or phalanx.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are even saying. What the fuck is phalanx?
Phalanx is Sea-Wiz.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, the Phalanx is the manufacturer of Sea-Wiz, which is the close-in weapon system.
And we both learned something about Phalanx, didn't we, Cliff?
What is the beam of a ship? What's that?
The beam of a ship is the distance from the port to the starboard side.
Yeah, it's the breadth of the ship.
Oh, the width.
Yeah.
Yes.
The beam.
What would you look for the height of the ship?
So the height of the ship is measured in a number of different ways. So you've got the height above the surface based upon the thingy line.
The thingy line.
Fuck.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact term for it. I'll let Cliff do this. I'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So from the water line to your main deck, that's called your freeboard.
Yep.
And then you have your distance from the keel to the main mast, and that's going to be the longest distance. The keel being the lowest point below the surface.
Okay. Let me ask this question then, Cliff. How high is the fucking radar system on this ship?
Depends on the ship.
Right.
The one he told me.
Yeah, but generally at least 15 meters.
50? Really?
I don't know. I'm pretty certain for most of the ships that I've seen, it's been around 15 meters.
The deck of a ship is that high?
No, not the deck of a ship. The radar.
Right. The radar.
Well, that's where I seen that they placed this particular one that I'm talking about. It was on the deck.
I'm going to go and look at the Sea Sparrow
imagine
installation.
it ever being on the deck.
It wouldn't make sense for it to be on the deck unless it's a direct targeted. So unless they've actually got the two systems.
No, you wouldn't put a Sea Sparrow on the main deck of. You wouldn't put anything other than crew served weapons on the main deck of a ship.
That's why I'm telling you guys to see that presentation. QE has citations, the works, the names. I don't recall everything, but you got to at least owe it to yourselves to watch that, guys.
I
actually
saw this video, by the way. This is why I can actually comment it, because I went and did the research after looking at it, and he misquotes loads of shit, including the range of the missile.
And it appears that he did so purposely. And didn't I already tell you, Montreal, that I did look at his presentation? So why do you keep asking me why I didn't look at it?
Oh, I didn't mean you, Schwarzenegger. Okay, all right.
So the Sea Sparrow, Cliff, uses the Mark 23 target acquisition system, TAS. So we can then go and look at where that, and then we can go and look at where the fuck that's installed on the ship. Job fucking done.
Schwarzenegger, one question, please. Have you heard of the pencil beam radar that could see at least 35 miles, or is it just
acquisition system?
Yeah.
Yes, can it see?
It's a pencil beam painter.
How far can that see, Schwarzeneggers?
It depends on the height above the surface. For Christ's sake, how many times do we need to keep telling you this?
Okay, forget about the height. Let's say you're on ground level. Let's say it's 6 foot.
You can't forget about the height.
I just want to. No. You're not getting me right. I just want to have an idea.
I've got a motorbike. Let me just put this in context. I have a motorbike that is capable of about 145 miles an hour. Yeah. There are roads where I have done over 140 miles an hour. There are an awful lot of roads where I can't really get above 30.
Pussy.
I know. You've just never ridden in Oxfordshire, mate. Otherwise, you'd know why.
Exactly. I agree.
So I have a motorbike that's capable of 145, yet I'm going to use it to the condition of the environment I'm in. Why are you not seeing that?
What does that have to do with the question I just asked you?
Because what you're trying to say is, aha, look, it's got 35 miles or 70 miles range, and we can't see that far, even from this height, when actually what you're saying is immaterial. The specifications and range, max range of an object, because it could be used for multiple different roles. One of the things the military is quite good at is using the same shit for different stuff.
Yeah, but you're deviating from my point. You're deviating from what I'm asking you. I'm asking a simple question.
Hypothetical question.
How far? Yeah, a hypothetical question so I can work my brain around what I'm thinking. Is that too much to ask?
No, I'm just elaborating. No, I agree. That's good. That's fine. He's not saying, what he's saying is he's not telling you guys how it is. We're building right now. He's brainstorming.
I apologize, actually, because often these questions get asked with a particular agenda in mind. So some of us may have got jaded over the years to having an honest interlocker. So if you are being honest, I apologize.
And dress, remember that.
Yeah,
because that's
honest to God, I am.
That's the same reason Flat Earth does it. Just remember that.
Yeah, I know, and I actually try and check myself as hopefully
yeah. Well, I remember the other day you did quite well, so.
Yeah,
if you guys can teach me something,
especially from a guy like Schlesinger, who's been on the boat for 30 years.
Mhm.
Who am I to say no?
But here's the thing. That's not just the only thing brought to the table. We all bring something to this table. That's the thing.
Right.
And
it's not a ship, it's a boat.
I knew you were going to say something. You got to realize, here's the thing. If you're going to learn anything right now, I'd rather teach you that quantum eraser is full of shit. like if you really want to figure some shit out, research him. Because he literally word plays everything. It's kind of hard to have a conversation about how things work when you're using his information versus reality.
Cliff, do you have access to Jane's?
Jane's fighting ships?
Yeah, because I don't anymore. I used to have paid access, which was really nice, but I don't.
The hell is that?
Well, Jane's is just an encyclopedia of fighting ships.
Oh.
Yeah, but they also do the Jane's reports as well, which are specification guides.
Oh,
right. Well, shit. I do have. Let me look on my bookshelf here.
Yeah, James has got lots.
This is how fucking sad we are, by the way.
Okay, I have a.
Can I get my question into Schlesinger, please?
Yeah,
sure, man.
Oh, and don't think I forgot. We're doing the whole Glim thing. He's gonna.
My question to Schlesinger. Sorry, Shawn.
No. I apologize.
My question to Schlesinger is, since you've been on the ship and in the ocean for like 30 years, what's the farthest you've ever looked out? Have you ever wondered? Have you ever took binoculars? Like, what's your experience? I'm really interested.
Have you ever seen anything on my channel? Because
I'm afraid I haven't, no.
Well, then you would know if you had ever seen any of my debates, because I talk in excruciating detail about how we have on our bridge wings, we have big eyes, which is essentially binoculars, but with telescope range.
Sight viewers.
Like right. And points. So also night vision, that you can see the
enemy,
the masthead light of an oncoming ship. And we can confirm that with radar. So I would say probably, just spitballing it here, the farthest I've ever seen an oncoming ship is probably 30 some odd nautical miles. And aircraft, it just depends on their height. I mean, our SPS 48 air search radar can see over 200 miles.
Hey, I'm happy you're here. The B-52, I know it's in service. How normal is it to pull one out of the boneyard to refurbish?
Well, the B-52 is an Air Force platform, so I can't really speak to that intelligibly.
Okay. Isn't that a ship?
No, it's like a...
No, the B-52 is a long-range bomber.
Yeah.
I know!
But here's the thing. So, the United States gave Boeing a $40-something billion contract for 3 from the graveyard, the boneyard, to be refurbished and restocked for current technology. But here's the kicker: there's like at least 6 different countries right now that are just gave Boeing these huge contracts for these. This is B-52 and the B. I don't want to kill this B-2. No. It's a smaller version. A little stealthier. To me, it looks like it would be like the escort of the B-52, but it bombs too, so that wouldn't make sense. But anyway, I digress. They're outfitting these things also for the fact that they have long range. Like I think it was 8,000 miles or some shit like that. It was crazy. I know you guys didn't expect this, but I think they're ramping up for geoengineering, and that's what they're going to be using. They were talking about using KC-10s before. That's pretty much the same shit. And aren't they called the Stratosphere? Aren't they the B-52 Stratosphere or some shit?
Stratofortress is what they were called.
Yes, yeah, there you go.
Right.
Now, could you outfit those with a refuel? You can use those for refueling, right?
No, they're not very practical for refueling.
Okay, because
that's why
size-wise and
that's why we had things like KC-10s.
Okay, but if there was theoretically spraying, the B-52 loaded up would probably be the best bet. Would be the heavy hauler, right?
It was a high altitude bomber, long range bomber.
Yeah, well, just alone what they were talking. See, there's two things that go when I was looking up about this whole all these bombers being contracted to be built. Either what I think, geoengineering stuff, which probably isn't very accurate because the rest of the story, but the big thing is the reason they say they're doing this is because the B-52 can carry so much, so many warheads, I guess you call it, right? I think it was like 20 or something like that of these nuclear warheads or some shit that they're making now.
We'd have to look up what the payload capacity of a B-52 is. It's a lot, though.
I think it's 70,000, and the lower one under it is 50.
I was going to say 80,000 pounds. It sticks in my head for some reason, but
you may be right. But I know.
Hey, Shawn, there's a guy in the chat. He says his name is Dave Gafford. He says the FLIR on my boat works up to 50 miles in all conditions.
FLIR, not FLIR. FLIR. Forward-looking infrared.
Sorry. Yes. What do you got to say about that?
Yeah, it's forward-looking infrared, so why wouldn't it?
50 miles? You can see something 50 miles. Shouldn't there be a curve there way before that? Just saying.
Again, height of eye and what is this forward-looking infrared looking at, and what is the height that it's looking at? Also, helicopters and aircraft also have FLIR.
What's up, Jose? What do you want, man? What does Jose want, a link or some shit? I don't know. What the hell is he doing? Okay, he wants Lincoln's. All right.
Actually, I've just been looking in a book that I have on my bookshelf called Sea Power that goes through all the different types of ships, and I don't see where a cruiser has Sea Sparrow. So it has a Mark 26 launcher. It's got ASRock. It's got Tomahawks, torpedoes, and Mark 45 5-inch guns, and the Phalanx Sea Sparrow. Not Sea Sparrow. The Phalanx Sea Whiz.
Yeah. What you're looking for is
I
to
don't
have
think they have Sea Sparrow.
Yeah, you need to have two Mark 95 unmanned illumination radars, which are required to launch the Sea Sparrow. They're mounted in pairs, and they aren't mounted at the top.
Or any sort of crewed ship wouldn't really need Sea Sparrow because they have the vertical launch missiles. And they have
Sparrow can be vertically launched.
Yeah, but how about this guy Dave on his boat?
Yeah, how high was the boat? What size was it? What were the conditions of the sea?
Dave, if you can hear, please type in what they're asking.
Oftentimes, what you're looking
and then
at,
it's anecdotal, and we have no physical evidence.
You're not talking about the. You're not necessarily talking about what it. You're talking about a maximum range under some condition.
And how do
he says on all conditions with the FLIR, with the FLIR. Sorry.
No. I also want to know what his rate was and what ship he's talking about.
Okay, he just typed in FLIR is mounted 20 feet above the waterline, picks up logs and other small boats.
Bullshit.
Not pose under current math sphere. That's what he's saying. I'm just saying what he's saying.
And I'm saying that nothing is 20 feet above the waterline. That's not even at your main deck level, even on something as small as a frigate.
When you guys can, I can have like 1 or 2 minutes. So it's all the time I got anyway. I had like 15 minutes,
Jose.
10 minutes ago. What's up? I've been tagging Shawn like, Shawn, I need a link.
My bad.
I need to be a flat earther on this one to have a Montreal.
Yeah,
I got you back.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
I was trying to look through all the paper, all the tabs that we were trying to share and all that crap. My apologies.
Whomever this Dave guy is, can somebody send him a link?
Yeah, because I've been listening since Montreal brought this one point today, and I haven't seen the quantum eraser presentation on this. I have heard it talk. It was talked about on my show once, but I wasn't paying that much attention. Today, something is happening that I'm not understanding anything about this point because the Globe side have the answers. Schrodinger's cat is more on point because he's more experienced on this subject. The other guys are kind of, no, this is not it. But there were some points that there were no closure, and I see they're being kind of brushed under the rug about the line of sight because it's not. I think Montreal is not talking about when the little missile launches and reach the other one. Is when the target is being viewed from point A to point B. We want to shoot point B, but we got to look where point B is from point A. So we're looking from the deck, and we are looking at point B at direct line of sight with whatever tool, with a telescope or a little apparatus or radar signal or whatever. I think that's the key.
I don't think
exactly, Jose. Thank you.
I don't think they would search for a target or target a target from the deck. They would probably do that from the observation tower.
Yeah, but let's say from the observation tower, from the highest point of one of these biggest ships, let's say it's 152 foot tall, the little radar. And with this little radar, it's just pointing at a line of sight. If it's 50 miles, shouldn't be able to be seen.
I'm guessing, Cliff, you have to back me on this.
Be able to be seen?
Wouldn't 100 feet be 150 feet be a little short for one of these ships?
It depends on
way short.
Right. Well, your
average
height of eye just at the pilot house on the ship that I told you about earlier, the USS Kearsarge, the height of eye in the pilot house is 100 feet. So you're looking at another 100 to your masthead.
And remember,
yeah, this is kind of I think this is the key point because let's say it's from high in the tower or whatever thing, but it's being kind of, it's a little vague. The explanation on seeing from point A to point B at the right line of sight, so we know what they are shooting that missile to. I think that's the point that it's got to be figured out. I really don't know. You guys are speculating too.
No, because if he's talking about the missile itself, he's wrong because they don't shoot them straight. Now, if you're looking at eyeing a target, again, they're not doing it at water level. They're not even doing it at deck level. We need that height. We need that. That's why Cliff keeps saying the observer's altitude or height, because it really plays a factor. I can show you 65 miles of observation with no obstruction.
With 200 foot high observer.
But it matters to my altitude to how I was able to do that. The same way is where he's trying to explain with these ships.
Because the ships are in the water. One ship is in the water, the other ship is in the water. Let's say 50 miles away, round it up. And let's say 200 foot tall tower. I keep adding up because I still haven't heard from Schrödinger or nobody. They say it's got to be high. It's really high. It's about kind of sort of this foot, but it hasn't been said. So the math cannot be done. It just can be speculated by the supposed experts.
I mean, I could look it up if you would like, but the thing is, you're talking as if it's a ship-to-ship, surface-to-surface missile, but it's not. It's a surface-to-air missile.
Not a missile. The line of sight, so we can see what we are shooting at. Before the missile, not talking about the missile.
That's the thing. Radar is the eyes. They're not looking with their eyes.
Ain't a target with a spotted aircraft and a laser.
The radar system is on the top.
Yeah. The only way you would be shooting with your eyes is a crew-served weapons, which are
You're not understanding what Jose is telling you.
No, we are.
He's talking about the target acquisition. Okay. It has to be done by the boat. Target acquisition. That's what Jose is talking about.
But here's the thing: you're saying the deck. He's trying to, and we're trying to explain to you. Hey, Dress, go down or go back to whatever ships you were just at.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was still screen sharing. Apologies. I'm doing research while everyone else is rabbiting. Because I
just need to see a boat with radar system. Okay, right there.
So
right there.
Okay. I thought this was a reasonable representation of a modern destroyer.
Yeah. Okay. So the deck. See the water level. It's obviously a
that
lot
look
lower
about
than the
150
deck.
foot.
And then
so where the targeting system is placed is. Can you see my mouse?
Yeah,
that's
I say about 100 foot, and that's exaggerated. 100 foot from the water.
Well, you also have your phased arrays just below that. The flat panels for your Spy 1 radar is just below that. You see those flat panels?
Click on that. Click on the picture. Thank you, sir. Yeah, those are people, Jose. I guarantee that's more than 100 foot. From surface to the
to the masthead, you mean? Oh yeah, that's well over 100 feet.
If one person is 10 foot, then stand another one 10 foot tall. Nobody's 10 foot tall. It's 6 foot. Let's say all these people stack up 10 people, one on top of another one. They are gonna be higher than that tower. This is 100 foot max. Don't tell me it's more than 100 foot, bro. Unless you don't have you cannot perceive, height because, like, for real, it's visible.
Stay right there, Dress. Don't move. Keep it on that page. Because here's the thing: you're saying it's not 100 foot, and you're saying we're just making these wildest claims, but you're doing the same thing. The reality of it is that our explanation of it being higher compared to it being on the surface or the deck explains more and explains how more than why. Or just
right,
why.
and I can see that the whole number on there is so that's DDG 51, so that's the Arleigh Burke, which is a guided missile destroyer, and the height of it.
I tried to do something really representative, Cliff. That was the whole point of me looking for so long.
Right, and they have their.
Jose is right. That can't be more than 60 feet there.
Okay, you guys are guessing. So if you think we're guessing, and we're actually looking in Cliff,
but where's the numbers then? There. We haven't seen a number yet. Still officially, official number. So you guys are guessing.
Then you guys.
That's right.
Then you guys shouldn't be criticizing us for it and doing it at the same time.
Well, we're in the same boat, then, brother. Like, for real. No disrespect. We're in the same boat. We are all speculating here.
100%. But no. I think Cliff isn't speculating. I think Cliff has the best knowledge of it, and he can say, and I don't see why you wouldn't take what he's saying for real. He's like, it's literally he's our expert on at the moment.
Yeah, and I'm not at a computer, so I'm running around.
Whoever is doing that man thing is cool, man. Who's doing that?
Yeah, it's not gonna go past 10. Yeah, it's not gonna go past 10 people until you reach this, and this is gonna be 60 foot.
You said 6.
That's right.
10.
Well done.
10 I say if the person is 10 foot tall, you put 10 people one on top of another, that's going to be 100 foot. This people is 6 feet tall. If you put 10 people one on top of another one, it's not going to be past.
I could tell you right
foot,
now,
brother.
He's already wrong.
Times 4,
just where he's at is wrong.
Don't forget perspective in all this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take perspective.
Yeah.
At least he has a closer to the camera than the back of the ship is.
You do know that there's this thing, Dress. It's like a ruler. You can literally just.
I just thought this was more fun.
Dress just wants to make it complicated.
No, it is more fun. It's just visible.
Yeah, but the point that I was making is the question I want to ask is: do you think that they actually installed the radar, the line of sight radar for here, the Mark 91 or 92, whatever it was?
Where is it?
Do you think that's
on the deck?
Only if they want to cook somebody's lunch.
QE shows exactly where they mounted.
I don't think it's
mounted up here generally.
Yeah, I don't think it's more than 100 foot high. That's what I say in the beginning. You said no, it's got to be more. But look, keep stacking people up. Go to 10 people up. It's going to be a pass above these radars, and that's only 60 foot.
Bring one of those people back there and put them in that window.
Are there people at the back of the boat there?
All right, I'm going to have to.
In fact, they're actually
look this up because
there's people all over that boat.
Right, so use one of these. Instead of using the ones at the front, use ones near the back.
What I'm going to do is take.
I think we should use that one guy standing on the balcony right there.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to use.
If you
That's called
could
a
see his
weather deck.
feet, that'd be good, but you can't.
Well, can somebody just
but it's that
Google
weather
height of
deck
eye
there
on a
that they
DDG?
mount.
I'm looking right now. I'm trying to find it. It's not something that's just like that. It's not.
Do we know the height of the windows?
Why are you using the people anyways? Why don't you use a part of the boat that you know how
the
tall it's
windows there
supposed to
would
be?
be nice.
Because they don't know part of the boat.
You can look it up better than you can look
Okay,
up
so
how tall
click join
that
the
person
panel.
is.
We could do that. We'd look up the height of the deck.
I gotta go, guys. Thank you very much. That was it. I had a little longer, but I came in late.
I'm sorry,
why
Jose.
number
Thank
four
you, Jose. I
on
really
this boat?
appreciate it, bro.
Why is this number? Why does this boat have the number 4 and the number 2 on it? Is this the answer to life in the universe and everything?
Oh, there's a chap on the left-hand side of that thing there. You can see most of his down to his midriff there, actually.
Yeah, I've just taken it down to the bottom of the deck. I'm pretty fine with that. I can see where the bottom of the deck is and where the guy's standing.
These things open? Or are they just like extra bulletproofing?
That's kind of bulletproofing.
That lighter shape that's like welded onto the front of the boat right there?
What was the
I don't know,
question about what were you asking, Channel Q?
I'm asking it. You see how there's that number 4?
Yes.
You see that shape that's lighter than the rest of the boat? That's kind of welded and fitted onto the boat?
That's a phased array. That's a phased array radar for the SPA 1 weapon system.
That's radar?
Yes.
Is it giving out radar or picking up radar?
Both. It sends out what are called packets of radar, and that's it. It's a very advanced weapon system.
Just the metal plate does that?
Well, no, it's not a metal plate. It's basically an antenna.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a cover.
It's this plate. It looks like a plate to me. You understand?
Yeah, but it's covering something.
Yes.
Isn't it?
But there could be a cover that lets the RF go through.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a
Yeah.
machine behind it?
Like a
Yeah,
pattern.
it's a radar system.
I've never been on a boat, guys.
It's not a boat; it's a ship.
You need a
Well,
trick.
I've never been on a ship like this, guys. I've been on battleships, like to go on tours of them when they're in the harbor.
16 to that deck.
16 times 6, guys. Who knows?
Okay, if we want to do this correctly,
Nearly 100 feet.
I just
96, actually. I lied. Sorry.
I just looked it up. The DDG 51, which is that ship exactly, which is the Arleigh Burke, is 504 feet long. So you could use the length to figure out the height.
Tricky.
Well, you got a perspective problem with that.
I think it's about 105.
Yeah.
What's the
It's
top?
also,
What's the top? What's the name of that? What's the name of the very top? What is that? This crow's nest?
That's your masthead.
Masthead. Thank you.
Yeah, the crow's nest would be a basket beneath that.
I'm actually pretty good about this.
So
I have to measure wires.
So there's another problem I have with, again, when you're dealing with modern battlefield systems, and Cliff will correct me if I'm fucking this up, but when you're dealing with modern battlefield systems, you're not looking at, you have multiple sets of acquisition and you have multiple sets of battlefield intelligence. It's not that the ship is going to be sailing out there on its own. It's probably going to have some sort of air cover, because air superiority is important, and it's also going to have battlefield awareness system integration as well in a modern ship. The other thing is all the long range sensing equipment is right up the fucking top here. To give you the maximum line of sight. So again, I'm not sure what this. I just think this is a bit of a.
This issue of the range of these missiles, presumably when they talk about 70-mile range or whatever, that's dealing with an aeroplane that could be high up on the sky.
Exactly, it's the same. The example I used, Rumpus, was I said I've got a bike that's capable of about 145 miles an hour. I've been up to about 140 miles an hour on it. Now I can't do that on a country road, but I can do it on a decent motorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so the point is that it does have a range of 70 miles if the aeroplane's high up in the sky, not behind the curve. And when it's hiding very low down, it's behind the curve and you can't get it.
Guys.
70 miles.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So hypothetical question, if I may, gentlemen.
Go.
Let's say the pencil beam radar, because we're not figuring out how high it is. Let's say we'll give it 100 feet.
About 90 feet is a conservative estimate. Let's use that.
Okay, Drews, we'll go with you because you're good on this. Let's say 90 feet. Is it possible for a pencil beam radar at that height to observe something at 50 miles?
Let's go with that.
But I just posted a link.
One at a time. Fuck.
I just posted a link to long-range target acquisition with pencil point radar and laser in the side chat, and how it is done.
Yeah, this is really aggravating for me because I'm doing chores right now, and I really wish I could invest more of what I have to say, but I'm just going to have to pop in and out as I can.
Ignore your wife and do this. This is much fun.
Hopefully, I'm doing okay on your behalf.
If the aircraft is high up, you can shoot it down at 70 miles. If it's low down, hiding on the horizon, the range you can shoot it down is shorter. It's very simple.
Yeah, I agree.
Shut up, Slick, you dumb.
Your mom.
Your mom.
All right,
so just because they say these missiles can shoot something down at 70 miles, that does not mean to say they can shoot something down at 70 miles an hour, hugging the surface of the sea.
No.
Of course not.
How are you guys saying yes at the 100 feet? Have you put it in the calculator? How are you figuring that out?
Because the military uses multiple ways to acquire line of sight. They can use an aircraft, they can use another ship closer to the target. All of that equates back to
That's not what I'm
firing weapon systems.
We're not talking about that. We're talking direct line of sight.
About long range
Pencil
target,
beam
line
radar.
of sight, and target acquisition, which is a combination of data gathered by multiple vehicles in a battlefield.
I think, though, apparently, I think that Sparrow system requires the ship that's doing the detecting to be the one doing the firing as well. It can't use other ships.
Yeah, it's effectively a radar painter, is what it's
Yeah,
using.
so I think it has to be on the same ship as the thing.
And the thing with that particular version of that radar painter is it's a 10 nautical mile missile.
And maximum range is called maximum range for a reason, because it's the maximum.
Yep.
Yes, but if they have a missile that could go 50 miles with a pencil beam and they're targeting it on the ship, how does that work exactly?
No, it doesn't target a ship. That would probably target an airplane. Where it does both, doesn't it? It's the ships and airplanes.
No. It's a surface-to-air weapon system. Surface-to-air.
Right, so it's only air. Okay, right.
Designed for shooting down airborne targets.
Oh my God,
I thought we were talking this block 2 thing. I thought they could do both surface to surface and surface to air.
Surface to surface, Rumpus. What?
The block 2, if we're talking about the
Just made that up, Rumpus.
What did I make up?
No, he's right about that. It does go surface to surface. Q.
Surface to surface is made up. Come on, stop it.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Guns,
no missiles are surface to surface missiles. Nobody calls them
they
that.
are.
Yeah,
you have that.
Guys.
You have surface to surface, surface to ground, and air to ground, and you're winding us up channels.
Sorry, I'll stop.
Stop giggling at me and be sensible.
I know what you're doing.
At about 90 feet, it's about 12 kilometers. 12 miles.
I still don't think they're called surface to surface.
They are.
Check the chat. Jose is right. You guys are obfuscating.
No, we're not.
They're not called ground
Yes, you are.
missiles.
No, we're not.
Because they go from
No.
Hang on. In Montreal, understand? He's playing devil's advocate right now, and
being naughty. That's what she's being.
She's being naughty.
Oh, I'm not talking. Okay, so the problem with you saying that Jose's right is, for one, we're not. We have a very, very good idea of the height. We know, or we don't even need to know the exact height within the inches. We know at 100 feet, which pretty much we know, you're going to be able to see a lot further than on the deck, which you were saying in the beginning. So this whole time you said everything was being done from the deck, and that is not possible. But
I said what I heard QE say, and I was referring to Schwarzingers, who has the expertise. I'm on a learning mission here. I don't claim I know anything.
Okay. I know that. I already said that. Earlier. I said it way earlier. I'm not saying you're making this claim. I'm saying you're asking this. But the problem is that Jose is playing devil's advocate. You're saying that you jumped right on board with him when you said, well, we don't know, so we're just obfuscating. We're not. Literally, we're not.
But how are you arriving to this conclusion is what I wanna know.
Cliff's expertise, me knowing that on the deck of a ship, you can't see as far as you can see up high, because that's what they used to do. They used to climb on the top of ships to see further out. It's logic.
Yeah, but Mr. Schwarzinger himself said that he can see 30 miles out. How is that possible?
Again, I can show you
From
a picture.
what height?
I can show you a
From
picture
what
of
height
65 miles.
Was he in an aeroplane at the time? I mean, you haven't
Height has everything to do with it.
Here, look,
He said he was
Montreal.
20 feet, and I find that somewhat meh.
Montreal, from 100 feet, okay? From 100 feet, the distance to the horizon is about 13 and a half miles, okay? So something right at the elevation of the horizon is visible 13 and a half miles. If you're looking
but we're talking about 50, Blue.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
but-
just listen to me though. If you're listening, if you're looking for something that's 100 feet above the horizon, that would be another 13 and a half miles. That's
Exactly.
there's 27 miles or 28 miles.
When he said he
27
could
miles.
see that, was he referring to something on the surface or something in the air?
That's the question. If it's
Well,
a surface to air missile. Now if you're
if I'm not mistaken.
Now, if you're talking about a surface to air missile, and that's what these things are, how high is the aircraft? 1,000 feet? The missile?
No,
1,000 feet
Blue.
up?
No, Blue. These are surface to surface. Some of them, Blue. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, but
No, it's not surface to air.
I don't know what
Yeah,
the
but
range.
what-
I don't know what the 50-mile range pertains to.
Yeah,
Does
but
it
what's
pertain
the
to
elevation of the
surface
target?
targets or surface to air targets, or which?
Well, we came with an elevation with Drews at 90 feet, let's say.
Yeah, but where's the target? When Schrodinger said,
Where the target?
you're saying he said he could see 30 miles.
Let's
We
ask the
need
better
to know what he was
Well,
looking
let's let
at.
him speak about it.
Guys, here's the problem. Montreal, how much of Quantum Eraser's presentation, data-wise, do you know? And I know you're not.
Like I said,
Go ahead.
I saw the video. First of all, before he gave his presentation, I was interested on this because I saw it on Mark Sargent. He had a guy on there. So that's what piqued my interest. Then I looked further into it. A lot of the stuff is classified.
Then how does he know it?
The person that Mark Sargent had on was a quartermaster that Mark Sargent lied and said that he was a navigator.
Ah.
But hang on.
Oh, so you know for sure that he lied?
Hang on, we're going off track.
Yes, because the guy...
Guys, we're going off track. We're going off track. Again, do you have any of Quantum Eraser's data with you?
His data? No, I don't have any of his data. No, I just saw the video and I did some research on myself and I just find it funny, that's all.
Well,
Which claim are you having a problem with?
Hang on. That's kind of the data that I'm talking about because you're telling us, and this is the same thing that goes with a lot of the other science topics that we go through. You're saying no, and we're saying, well, Cliff here, he's going to be probably our best. He's going to be our expert on this topic. People who can make an observation or like dress it and do the stacking of the people or use a rule or measuring tool for pixels, it doesn't matter. There are hundreds of ways of finding out.
Right, but we haven't identified what observations being talked about here.
Rumpus. Just stop.
Yeah, I know, but you're missing the whole point.
No,
we haven't identified what the claim is.
You're missing a fucking point. Stop.
Rumpus, don't screw the show up, man, please.
You talk. If I say stop, you stop. You don't need to do the run-on. You don't need to be the center of attention. This is my shit. I'm the center of attention. Okay.
You're making sure that I agree.
No, I don't
All praise Shawn.
agree or not. The reality of it is you do not dictate what
I'm just trying to ask one question. I'm not being allowed to ask it. I'm just asking what
is wrong with you?
You get here, and then you think you're going to start running shit.
No, I'm not. No, I'm just asking one question.
See? Yeah. That's the thing. I was in the middle of what I was doing, and then you decided it was going to what you wanted to ask. I then said, that's not what I'm trying to ask him, and you wanted to make it your shit again. Just stop. Let me finish what I had to say, because this matters more than what any of you guys have to say. Because the reality of it is how is someone arguing what QE was saying and telling us we're wrong if he doesn't even know what QE was saying? How do we know what we're arguing against if he doesn't know what QE was saying? So, Rumpus, there's no way of knowing what the fuck we were aiming at if he has no information. So then what are we talking about
Schrodinger's observation
for?
He was talking about Schrodinger's observation as well as QE. We need to find out what his particular claim
He
is.
was talking about an observation that someone in the side chat made, Rumpus.
Yeah, but he just made a comment about Schrodinger making an observation.
No, he didn't. He made.
He did. He quoted Schrodinger's observing something at 30 miles.
No, he did not.
5 minutes
That
ago.
is the guy in the chat.
No, stop. Schrodinger did say that. Had nothing to do with this conversation, though. He asked him in the beginning, how far can you see when you were on your ship? Had nothing to do with what we're talking about, radar systems and guide. Nothing.
Montreal mentioned that as one of his problems with what Schrodinger had said.
You're complete bollocks. Just shut the hell up, Rumpus.
No, but be quiet. You obviously didn't hear you weren't here when he said it or something. I don't know. Who knows? But Montreal
I know.
mentioned
I was
the
here.
problem.
I was listening. Montreal asked him that at the beginning of this.
Okay, well, let's identify what his claim is.
Jesus Christ. You're getting here late, not us.
Sean's identifying, so you just go sit back in the corner, you little clown.
Don't call Rumpus a little clown.
I'm just saying.
Rumpus, why can't you just apologize when you interrupt people?
At 88 minutes into the stream, you want us to now stop.
No, carry
Start over and tell Rumpus.
No, carry on.
Okay, thank
But I
you.
just think we need to clarify exactly what his claim
Yeah,
is.
see? Carry on. But let's find out.
No, carry on.
I'm happy to reiterate what I said if anybody is interested.
No, Cliff.
Go ahead, Cliff. And then when he's done, I will then say something, or someone else will say something. I'm going to start being an asshole about this. Go ahead.
Okay, I was talking about the maximum range that I have ever seen from the pilot house of the biggest ship that I've ever been on to the mast headlight of an oncoming ship that I believe was 30 some odd miles, was probably the maximum range that I've ever seen. So the mast headlight of an oncoming tanker would be 150, 180 feet up off the water. And I have 100 some odd feet height of eye, so we could look that up and figure out what that is. And again, that was an estimation, but I'm pretty damn sure it's about 30 some odd miles.
I feel like it'd be easier to get two boats and then sail towards each other from 300 miles away. See
Those
how far away we get from each other till we can see each other's lights, dude. What's up?
Sorry, Rumpus, I was slightly wrong there.
I
mean
never really spent any part of my naval career trying to prove that the Earth was curved.
I know. I wish you would have. I wish that's why you were in the Navy, and then this would be so much easier for everyone.
Well,
I'm real experience on boats.
You were our only hope, dude. You were our only hope, and you didn't care.
I didn't even know flat Earth existed until after I retired.
Well, whose fault is that?
Well, I don't understand why something like Flat Earth doesn't bring you out of retirement.
And Sean, I've served aboard ship as well.
All right, I'm on my way to the recruiting office right now. I'm going to rejoin, and we're going to do this.
Sign up to drive the boat again. Hell yeah!
We're going to join the Flat Earth Navy, guys. Sign up for the Flat Earth Navy, guys.
Shout out to Slick, the free thinker.
What's up, Montreal? What's happening?
Hey, Jesus.
What's up, brother?
I have an idea. Okay, so with this conversation,
How can Slick be a free thinker when he's not even a thinker?
Okay, we're not going to get personal, and I want to keep this good. So, everyone.
I just said hi to my friend. That's it.
I'm not talking to you.
Slick, are you an incel?
We're all graduating from 10th grade, going into the 11th now. It really matters. Our citizenship.
Can you not do 10th grade? I didn't like 10th grade.
Well,
Can we do like 9th grade?
No, we're out of 10th. We're going into the
Earth
11th
science is 9th grade, dude.
Yeah, but
10th grade is like DNA and shit, dude. You want to be talking earth science, dude.
Wait, you haven't heard what's his face, Scotty Storm science?
Scotty
lectures?
Storm is definitely an incel, and I have a video where I'm gonna prove that to everyone.
What the hell's an incel? I probably know. I just need to hear.
Probably one of the most dangerous elements of our society right now. I'm making a video, you'll understand everything.
Okay.
It's so fucking scary, dude. I think it's part of the reason why I've like kind of had maybe, if anybody's noticed a shitty attitude coming out of me, it might be because I spent a lot of time listening to a lot of really poor psychology and philosophy coming out of incels making this video.
Yeah, incels are basically woman haters.
They're worse than
like
that.
red
They
pill.
don't just hate women; they hate you too. They hate anybody who's been able to sleep with a woman or procreate.
Oh,
so
I know what you're talking about
they
now.
hate everybody
Okay,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Okay. Has anybody heard or seen or know why no one likes red pill? Like, does anyone know who red pill really is? Like, he's not a flat earther.
Just look at his mustache. What's
He's
not
an
to hate?
incel.
No,
Can I give Schrödinger's answer?
He
he's really
He
bad.
used to do pickup tip videos.
Yeah,
Remember, I showed you.
No. It's worse. I saw his name. I saw one of his little uploads, and I noticed the title. He's done probably. I saw at least 4 uploads where it's like the dudes, these big ass dudes, like Ray Rice, when he beat the tar out of that girl in the elevator. He airs those things, and he was laughing in each one of those fucking uploads.
Yeah, I know.
And defending the guys, like, why would she think she can hit a guy? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I would think that too when I see a girl hit a guy. I'd be like, what the hell is she doing? But
You can think that all you want, but I would never put my fist through a woman's.
I don't think
head.
that means that a man needs to obliterate a woman just because she hit him. I mean, kids can hit you too. It doesn't mean you obliterate them.
Well, put it this way, Ray Rice is a football player who gets hit by 300 to almost 400-pound men on a regular basis. If a woman hitting him set him off like that, he's a bitch. Same goes for anybody else. I'm sorry. There are reasons to defend yourself, but I'm sorry. I've not seen one woman hit a guy or do something to a guy in any of these videos that warranted even a fucking hard push.
Right. Nope. Well, there's a hierarchy of force that police and military use. So basically, you use the minimum amount of force that you need to stop an attack. So he didn't need to knock her the fuck out like he did. He could have just hugged her, you know. So yeah, it is bullshit that somebody would laugh at her getting knocked out when all he had to do was just give her a bear hug until she calms down.
And then it's even worse to make an upload, chuckling and smirking about that shit.
What was his position? What position did he play?
Why is it so wrong with gender equality?
In football, what
he's a running
position?
back. Running back.
Well, so why didn't he just run away?
Well, he was in an elevator.
That's his job.
Oh, he was in an elevator? Oh, I didn't know
yeah.
that part.
Oh, yeah. They were in the middle of an elevator, and that man bounced her off every fucking wall.
And it doesn't matter. The smallest, weakest guy could have subdued that woman.
Can I get an answer from Schrödinger's point about his distance? If you were at 33 meters high up, Schrödinger, that's 100 feet. And if the thing you were looking at was 33 meters high up as well, which I think you said was actually higher than that, you only need to be within 25 miles of it.
Okay.
So you can. So indeed, you're entirely justified to say that if you were at that height and you're looking at something the same height, 100 feet or so, you could have indeed 25 miles is all you need.
That's about right.
That's Tracy. Give us just a few minutes to think about it.
Well, you also have to remember that the mast headlight of a ship is going to be well above the pilot house.
Yeah, indeed. But you tell me. I'm just saying, if you were both at 100 feet, you could see one another within 25 miles, and if it's even higher, it would be even short. It would be shorter.
Right. So my estimation of 30 was damn near spot on.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, if you not far off, 5 miles.
I'm getting background from somebody. I don't know who it is.
I told her, I said they'll tell you they want to deposit, but
Thank you. That kind of just threw me off. I'm sorry. Rumpus, if you were talking, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't talking. No, I was just making that point about Schrödinger's. The observation that Melty brought up regarding Schrödinger's thing as somehow a problem is not a problem. It's entirely reasonable what Schrödinger said, that he thought he could see 30 miles from a height of 100 meters, 100 feet, looking at something else that was 100 feet high. His claim was perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, I want to Montreal. I noticed you said in the chat. Jose said he's going to cover this topic, and you said that you'd be there because your words were, "I'll be there tonight if I can't. If I can because no answers here." Are answers Is the correct answer only what you believe the answer is going to be?
No, I just don't believe you guys are addressing all the issues.
Which issue haven't we
That's all.
addressed?
But did you do this with QE when he did his presentation? Or did you just listen and take in?
Of course
No,
not. That's
I
not how
listened,
biases work.
I
Shawn.
checked, and I know that you cannot see 50 miles from that
You
height.
can if you're looking up. You can if you're looking up.
You're not looking up. You're
define.
looking at a ship.
Okay, wait. Do you know what the target is? In his
The
presentation.
target is either another ship or another missile.
In his presentation, does he say or does he show what the target is?
No, he doesn't.
Then you cannot. Then you cannot say that, Montreal. You cannot say. You cannot tell Rumpus he's wrong. You don't even know.
All he quoted was a range, and that's all he did. And if you see him trying to attack an aeroplane at 70 miles, but high up, you can hit it at 70 miles because you can see the damn thing. It's not hiding behind the curve. But if it's right on the sea level, you need to identify the position of the target, the elevation of the target, and the distance. If you're not doing that, then you can't start to discuss the subject.
Yeah,
I'll explain you seeing what I mean. We verified that I think it was jOSE that said from 90 feet we should only be able to see 13 miles.
Wait, what'd you say? Wait, I'm so confused.
That's if you're looking at a target that has 0 elevation.
Exactly. You need to define the elevation, Montreal. You keep on not doing that.
Let's say a boat. The elevation is a boat. So we're talking boat to boat. You fire the missile.
QE did not say it's not in the specs. He said that you can hit a boat at 90 miles. It just says you can hit something at 70 miles. That would be restricted to things that are in the air.
Obviously, you didn't see the video, Rumpus.
I did see his video presentation. He does not define the target.
I just asked you, Montreal. I asked you, did he define that target? You said no.
Honestly, I can't remember.
There we go.
I'll be honest with you. But he did. He said a boat and a missile. Now, I don't know exactly which one he said. I'll be honest with you.
And we've explained if the target was an aeroplane, it would be possible.
Yeah, missiles are.
We're not talking aeroplanes, Rumpus. Get that off your head, man.
He doesn't define it. The target, does he?
Look, Rumpus is making his best logical guess on what it could be. You are making your best guess and telling us we're wrong. You don't see the.
I'm not making a best guess. He said surface to surface. Forget about air.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, okay, not for the range. Yeah, he did, but the range is not for that.
Wait, Rumpus. If he said range, if he said surface to surface, and in the range.
Yes, he said surface to surface. Yes.
Yeah, he did, but he's talking bollocks.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Just because Quantum Eraser said it doesn't make it right. I don't think I've heard you. You don't have any data, because if you had data and you were putting him through the same scrutiny that you're trying to put us through, I guarantee you would come to a better conclusion of what's going on, because he's the one who made the presentation, and we're getting bits and pieces of it and being able to break it apart.
Yeah, so what he's done, I've explained what he did. He saw that was a range possibility of 70 miles. And then QE said, aha, right, I'm going to presume that's a ship target and then say that this 70-mile range is relevant to a ship. But he's made that claim, not the people
and
who
you know this how, Rumpus?
Sorry?
And you know
There's
this how?
There's nothing in the spec of a missile that says it can hit something at 70 miles on a surface, but it can have a range.
You just added 20 miles now to. You just added 20 miles to the.
Well, whatever it is, the point is the missile can do, as I understood, it could do both air targets and surface targets. Now, clearly, it can hit air targets that are a further distance. They do not.
And it's the max range, so the max range would automatically make it an air target that it's shooting at.
Yes. It's really simple.
No, you guys are assuming this. He never says an air target. He talks about.
He does, yes, but he's talking bollocks.
Can you see something in the air farther away than you can on the ground, Montreal?
Obviously, Schrodinger's.
So maximum would be what? In the air or on the surface?
What does that have to do with what I'm asking you? You're obfuscating my point here.
What?
I'm talking about line of sight, surface to surface, ship to ship, pencil beam radar. I'm being very specific here.
Well, no, you're misrepresenting what was said.
You're not being specific about anything. You're just listing words.
Right.
You're basically misrepresenting QE's misrepresentation.
No. He's already said he doesn't have any data. So any information he's giving us on that presentation, we then have to now fact check.
As I say, what QE did is he read that there was a maximum range of this thing of 75 miles, and then instead of thinking of the aircraft scenario, he thought, I know what, I'm going to presume that's referencing a surface missile, a surface target. He made that leap. He made that assumption, not the specs of the system.
Okay, what I've got up here is the specification for all of the Sea Sparrow missiles.
Oh my god.
Because I'm a sad motherfucker.
Well done, Joss.
Oh, look at
okay, so the 70...
Look at all that crayons. Look at. Did he use what color crayon is that? Fuchsia crayon? Is that fuchsia crayon colored?
Sorry, I'm trying to just finish. Oh Christ. Okay, you guys can fucking read it, and I'll wait for you to ask questions because I can explain what all of these things are. That's okay.
Naughty.
Q's on a wind up again.
Yes.
So the AIM-7F is airborne. The AIM-7E is airborne. The AIM-7C is airborne. The RIM-7M is the marine variant. The marine variant has a maximum range with the most advanced version of 14 nautical miles. So I'm sorry, Quantum Eraser was probably quoting the AIM-7F, which is a flight-launched missile, which is that one.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a flight launch missile. It's an air launch. It's not a ship launch. The ship launches have the RIM Sea Sparrow designation, and the most advanced one has the M/P designation to it.
What's this Block 2 stuff then?
In Montreal, you may not know this, so you're not at fault. He knows he's doing this.
No,
That's
it's too
why
stupid to realize.
Everyone has a problem. I know.
He makes mistakes.
No, he's doing that shit on purpose. I'm telling you right now. Yes.
Okay, listen, I'm hearing what you guys are saying. I didn't come prepared because it was just a question you guys threw out. Is there any proof of a flat Earth?
100%.
So I will revisit the information. I promise you, I will revisit the information and do a recheck on it.
Yeah, Montreal.
Yeah, no worries.
No one is saying you're
Montreal.
at fault at this. You're literally just you're passing. You started it off as a question. It became the topic. So, but we're fully aware of where your source is from, and we blame the source. Don't worry, it ain't you. It's him.
Yeah,
we should be more critical of the QE though.
What I'm doing now for you is I'm putting all the links that I've used today into the chat, so you've got a copy of them, and then you can
get the Block 2. Is the Block 2 a Sea Sparrow system, Dross?
Which one?
The Block 2. I mean, that's the one that QE goes on about. Is this Block 2 thing? That's a Sea Sparrow system, isn't it?
Oh,
yes. Yes. Yeah, it's the native Sea Sparrow. But my question to Montreal is, now are you going to go back and hold QE to account as you just tried to hold me to account?
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. I promise you. I'm going to rewatch what he said. I'm going to write down exact specifications. And I'm going to check them out on my own.
But don't accept his specifications, though. You have to get the specifications off this system.
This link here is to the Block 2 Sea Sparrow.
Aha.
I'm sitting here looking.
He's on about the evolved Sea Sparrow missile, the ESM Block.
That's what's on the screen at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here looking at QE's presentation, and you said 50 miles. He said 50 kilometers.
That takes it down much more towards 30 miles, which means that as long as you, so as long as you've got an elevation of about 100 feet and you're hitting something that's got an elevation of around 100 feet, then you're good to go.
Probably.
Or certainly at 25 miles.
It's really quite extraordinary and fascinating that Quantum Eraser might have misconstrued and got something wrong, given his record of accuracy.
Shawn was just commenting on that surprise.
I'm not surprised.
It's rather amazing.
I think he uses fuchsia color because phonically it looks like it says fuchsia.
I'm sorry. Anybody who copy and paste.
You can figure that one out, Rumpus.
Sorry, I was looking. I'm sorry. I missed
yeah, one went right over your head, Rumpus.
Fuchsia sounds much better.
I'm sorry, Q. I was reading this excellent link that just provided. Missed your quip.
I like this. The conclusion that the QE comes to. He says, so either A, the evolved Sea Sparrow missile ESSM Block 1 exists, or the spinning bull religion exists, or C, they're
full of shit.
Yeah.
Or
both can't be true.
He forgot D, or the person who wrote this shit is full of shit.
I'm sorry that I'm putting so many links in the chat, but I've actually done quite a bit of.
I do appreciate that, because what I'm going to do is I'm either going to start using so everyone knows, like, I'm trying to build the website that Google gives you when you do the whole meets thing. Like, I'm actually trying to make it work or be something. I'm gonna start putting I'm gonna have the links area where every link that gets shown on here with relevance will be there, like all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I'm working on right now, just so everyone knows. So I do appreciate the links. So thank you. You may talk now.
I must say that at least you guys you're not throwing away what I said. At least you're looking into it, and we're having a good conversation.
Sure.
So
see, that's
good.
what we do, as opposed to certain others.
No name calling, no. That's great.
No, I wasn't having a dig at you. I was having a dig.
No. He's Dutch, so he's actually giving you a compliment, saying you're not doing any name calling.
That's right. Compliments
You are
to the
Dutch.
panel.
You are Dutch, aren't you? Yeah. Despite the Netherlands, yeah.
Call your names.
Yeah, I really regret that I have not, because he did do this, a couple weeks ago, Quantum Eraser, and I should have done a presentation on this by now. I've just been too busy.
I think I watched the video because for some reason I went and looked up a shitload of stuff on the Sea Sparrow. And I don't think I would have done that just off the cuff.
He's even got people in their side chat pointing out that the range does not state it's surface to surface.
Right,
No.
and I also need to do one because they keep bringing up the electromagnetic railgun, and I've actually seen that in action multiple times, and I don't know what it is about artillery that they don't understand. That artillery goes up and then goes down.
No, does it?
Weird.
Fuck.
It's really the lack of throwing balls or playing sports.
Well, should we not always just take anything Quantum Eraser has to say at face value without subjecting it to any sort of review? Because, I mean, after all, this is a man that computes flight times by adding the tangential speed of the Earth surface to a plane's velocity to get flight times. I mean,
I think that's how he'd like all of his presentations to be considered. That this is the gospel according to QE.
It's almost like he's being purposefully dishonest.
One day I'm going to get you guys to drop the E and just say things like, "This is the gospel of Q."
You really don't want to mix
help you.
You don't want us to get mixed up between you and Q.
Got to figure out exactly what kind of crayon writings is going to get you guys all interested in me.
Well, I think if you turned around and said in a very gentle voice, I don't know much about the gold standard, but I do love fluffy kittens, I think that would be good.
Well, I did tell Rumpus that I didn't believe there was such a thing as surface to surface, and that almost got him started.
Almost.
He went off about that for a week if you guys would have let him.
By the way, that was a very...
Given your artistic ability, and I was just going to say, given Channel Q's artistic ability, she should be able to create much more pleasing and prettier documents than Quantum Eraser.
Oh, yeah, Quantum Eraser's documents are painful.
Oh, Jesus.
So I could put living butterflies all over my documents.
Oh, no, that would be cool.
They would flutter and fly.
They could be quantum butterflies.
Yes.
Schwarzenegger, can I ask you a question, please?
It's Schrodinger.
It's Schrodinger, for God's sake.
I like the Schwarzenegger.
Sorry.
I like that he's adding Schwarzenegger to his name. I think it's pretty cool.
It sounds like he's trying to say swastika.
That's why the cat got out the box on its own.
Yeah.
We should just call him Cat.
Schwarzenegger, may the shorts be with you.
I like having farmers on because he knows all the films I know, which is really cool.
Given the video savviness of many of you on this panel here, maybe it's time to step up the game a little bit. Instead of these toe tag videos that Nathan produces, we could do a body bag video on Quantum Eraser. Lately, he's made so many ridiculous statements in his Ballbuster series there that there's much low-hanging
Too much.
fruit.
The trouble is he spouts so much crap. You think they'll make a video on this, and you think, Jesus, this will take me my lifetime to collect all this stuff together. And because he's got a torrent of bollocks, it actually suppresses criticism because you just don't know where to begin.
Rumpus, I'm putting on my Agile Scrum / Prince 2 hat now on and becoming the project initiation director here. Because whenever you go through this kind of thing, no, it might be one big, huge project, but what we can do is we can phase it into bite-sized chunks.
Yeah,
remember what Aristotle said about problem solving.
Why do you guys need any more videos on Quantum Eraser than the ones I've already made? I mean, they pretty much sum him up.
I mean, let's not forget, this is the guy who believes
He's taking he's taking the quantum bath, guys.
We just want to turn it into the quantum acid bath.
I mean, where do you start with this guy? I mean, he's got 10 claims, I think, for the flat Earth, and they're all just so ridiculous.
It's difficult, Rumpus. It
is difficult. It's very difficult.
You pick out any one thing that he's gone off the rails on, and you find out it takes a goddamn feature-length film just to try to get into part of it.
Exactly, and the key thing is you have to fill in about 5 years of his education because he starts off at such a low level. You've effectively got to create an educational program for a teenager up to the age of about 15, and that's quite a lot of work to deliver that. Otherwise, he's going to misunderstand it, and God knows what. And
I'll tell you one thing, QE is right about, since you guys are putting him under the bus.
I was going to say, is he really that stupid? Because he seems to be pretty good at disregarding a lot of stuff.
That doesn't require
QE is a lot of things, but not stupid. Stupid is not one of them.
Oh, he is stupid. He's very stupid.
No, he's not.
Come on, then. What are you going to defend him about?
He's not stupid, Rumpus.
You said you're about to defend him.
Go ahead, Montreal. What?
I can defend him. Sure. The Coriolis effect. Have you seen his presentation on that?
Yeah, and he's completely wrong.
Rumpus. He sure comes up with the good points to convince people that he's right. He comes up with the proper points to convince people that he's right.
No, he doesn't.
That's the scary part.
Are you being ironic?
No, I'm not being ironic. It just seems that people sure fall for something. The obvious points, he doesn't. If you were to actually research what he says and look into it a little bit, you'd obviously find out that he's wrong very simply. But I'm saying that
he's a snake oil salesman.
He's good at point. Yeah, exactly. He's a snake oil salesman.
I'm
How is he wrong on the Coriolis?
No, wrong. I need to correct Max because Max is wrong. Max, you're wrong. If he was good, then he would have you convinced.
It's not an issue of what is he wrong about on Coriolis. What is he right about?
Yeah, it's difficult to know where to start on this Coriolis part. I mean, repeat one of his claims on the Coriolis thing that he makes, and then we'll tell you how it's wrong.
You can't convince me on anything. So
that's because he's not good.
No,
if he was really good at selling his snake oil, dude, he could convince even you to buy it.
No, that's the ultimate.
The Coriolis, 2 frames of reference.
He can only convince.
Someone's talking channel.
He can only convince people that are of a certain bent.
Yep.
And people
But there can be more than just
lack certain skills and information.
We're talking over the guy who's got a name of a Canada town, which I can't remember. Montreal.
Yeah, indeed. You do need to reference frames. That's the one thing he has got right.
The Coriolis that Nathan and Quantum Eraser attack is just the very basic, simplest form of Coriolis. You can have more than 2 frames of reference when considering Coriolis in more complicated systems. You have more than just 2 reference frames, but the very basic, the simplest of Coriolis, of course, is 2 reference frames, a linear frame of reference and a rotating frame of reference.
And they get mixed up with relative velocity.
I would hate to argue with distinguished scientists such as yourself, Mr. Nyatanyuk. I only have grade 9 education, but I can tell you that you're absolutely wrong. There's only 2 frames of reference in the Coriolis effect.
No. Take this. take a roundabout, spin it, put another roundabout on the edge of that roundabout, spin it, then take a stick and wave it about your head and try to describe the force felt on a collar that's slipping on that rod, on that stick. You have two rotating frames of reference, and you have a linear frame of reference, and you have to take them all into consideration.
I'm sure if you're doing
from someone standing on the earth outside the roundabout.
And if you were using it for ballistics, would you need 3 frames of reference? You'd need one for the Earth, one for the atmosphere, and one for the ballistic.
Well, what if you were shooting somebody from a plane? You're in the plane and they're in a car. How many Coriolises are there now?
Every observer, one on roundabout A.
I'm in an airplane, okay, and I need to shoot a guy off of a motorcycle. He's on the street. I got my sniper, high-powered sniper, high-powered scope. I can see the whites of his eyes. How many reference frames am I dealing with, George?
Yeah, I mean, you're right on that. Is what I'm trying to say is if you have roundabout A, roundabout B, and you have someone standing on the earth off roundabout A and B, you have every observer sees a different Coriolis.
Brayer doesn't understand why the plane matters.
In fact, there was a issue back in the Vietnam War with jet fighter pilots having to deal with Coriolis messing up their inner ears. They drop a bomb load from a dive. They'd come out of the dive, the plane's rotating out of the dive, and then they move their head to look back at the bomb load, so they're rotating their head about their shoulder. So you have one reference frame rotating their head, rotating in another reference frame the jet that's rotating as it's pulling out of the dive, and then looking back, and it really messed them up, and they'd overcorrect and sometimes crash their jet.
That was the Lightnings, wasn't it? That was the Lightning, wasn't it? That they had that problem with.
We solved that problem. We just called it special disorientation and let it go.
But one of the things that QE does get wrong is he doesn't understand about relative velocity. And same with Nathan, they'll talk about, oh, does the Earth turn underneath you? Not realizing that there's no extra turn of the Earth. Your relative velocity to the Earth defines how the two objects moving, how much the Earth is moving underneath you. That's a classic question that QE and Nathan use to try and confuse people. The amount that the Earth is turning underneath you is the relative velocity of you and the Earth. And they don't even, and they then get confused. They say, if you've got a relative velocity, you therefore have Coriolis. And they get the two mixed up. They haven't even understood the most basic element, although Nathan's quite good at just parroting the information on the Wikipedia page. He can't apply it in any way, shape, or form. He gets mixed up with relative velocity, and then thinks that this idea that when you should be able to having a Coriolis force implies that you should be able to travel more quickly to east and west in an aeroplane. I mean, they get mixed up with the relative velocity of Coriolis. They don't have a grip on any part of this subject except the fact that you need at least two reference frames. But that's just something again they're just parroting from the webpage.
Wait,
yeah, that whole airplane thing.
Can I go faster if I go east? If I go faster, though.
Yeah, that whole plane thing was started by Brian Mullen on
Good question, Q.
Physics series, episode 1, planes flying on a spinning Earth or ball Earth or whatever he called it.
What were you trying to ask me, Montreal?
Don't you weigh less if you?
Oh no, I just said good question. A good question that Q raised.
You said you were trying to in some way challenge what I said about QE. And then Q asked a question.
Oh yeah, you're right. So QE is correct about the Coriolis, right?
No, he's incorrect.
No,
what? Well, okay. Which claim of his are you saying?
No, he doesn't understand. No,
he
doesn't understand. He does not understand that the
what doesn't he understand?
Everything.
He does not. I'm just trying to tell you, he doesn't understand that the Earth's atmosphere is carried along with the surface of the Earth. It spins at the same rate as the Earth does. It's not independent of the spinning Earth.
So then there's one reference frame.
Oh my God, dude.
Right, for instance, do you understand, Montreal, that if you're walking along the surface of the Earth, you're in a different reference frame to the Earth? QE and Nathan...
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah, there you go. You see, you're an idiot, and they're idiots, because that is completely...
You're an idiot.
Wrong.
Moron, don't call me an idiot.
The most basic, just because it's touching the Earth, does not mean to say you're in the same reference frame. And if you think so, you're an utter moron.
A reference.
You're an utter moron.
Hey,
you do not understand what the hell you're talking about.
Rumpus, just real quick. The short version is, Rumpus, is a reference frame is where you place an observer. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical realm or a physical entity. It can be a place in space. You can have an infinite number of reference frames on the Earth or
no,
above
sir.
the
No,
Earth.
sir. Not for the Coriolis effect. You need two reference frames. One inertial and one inertial.
Hey, Shawn, I thought I was the guy that yells at people.
You do not understand that by simply having a relative velocity to another system, you're in a different reference frame. When you're walking on the surface of the Earth, you're in a different reference frame. You have a relative velocity to the surface of the Earth. Therefore, you're in a different reference frame to the surface of the Earth. No, you do not understand the most basic thing, and just like Nathan and QE.
Yeah, I think you're not explaining yourself very well. You're just getting angry and calling him a moron.
Okay, I have to explain myself.
Repeating the same words.
The definition. Hold on, let me give a definition. Hold on, let me give a definition. I want to give a definition of reference.
I think where the disconnect.
The definition of a reference frame.
The disconnect
relative to that reference frame. You then are in a different reference frame. That's the definition of a reference frame. Being a different reference frame. I'm in mid-explanation here, George. That is the definition of a reference frame. By having a relative velocity something. Therefore, if you're moving on the surface of the Earth, you're in a different reference frame to the surface of the Earth by definition.
Yes,
that's what Rumpus does when he gets pummeled.
Where the disconnect is coming, they're assuming that a reference frame has to be a physical place. They don't understand that reference frames are imaginary. You attach a coordinate system to an observer. It doesn't have to be a physical place. And that's where the confusion of Quantum Eraser and Nathan and this Montreal are coming in. He thinks that a reference frame is some physical place or has to be a physical entity.
Is that true?
It's merely an observer.
I'm gonna reference Pete Shea and do a play on words and see that when I look at the Rumpus account name, is all I see is the pompous ass.
That was helpful.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm right. And
so I just want to give an example quickly. So an example of reference frames, and George, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is not my strong subject. I'd like George to correct me if I'm wrong, because it'll be quick. But the way I understand it, so if I'm standing on the side of the motorway and I'm observing a car, that car's moving at 60 miles an hour down that motorway. Yeah, that's a reference frame. Now, if I was on a motorbike traveling alongside that car at 60 miles an hour, it has a velocity compared to me of 0 because we're traveling at the same speed. Now, if I'm then accelerating off and moving away, that car is now moving slower than me. I'm moving faster. I'm moving into my own reference frame where I can observe that car moving away into the distance.
No, you're always in your same reference.
Okay, what if I'm jumping out of an airplane
also,
and I'm trying to run?
I wanted George to reply to that, please. I really just wanted George to reply to that.
You have two cars on your motorway, car A and B. They're moving relative to one another at 0 velocity. They're both going at 60 miles an hour. They are each can be considered. You have an observer in car A, an observer in car B. They each have their own reference frame. They just happen to have a 0 velocity relative to one another, but they're still in their own reference frames. Now, when car B pulls away from car A, he's still in his own reference frame, and he has a certain acceleration or velocity relative to the other reference frame. And there are coordinate transformations where you can relate the description of what observer in car A sees and what the observer in car B sees are related through their coordinate systems that are moving at velocities relative to one another.
You can consider those two cars in the same reference frame if they're moving at the same velocity, and they do not have any respect.
Yeah, from an independent observer.
Yeah, so those two cars can be considered to have.
So that's me on the side of the motorway. Yeah, that's me on the side. That's me on the side of the motorway, and I'm observing those cars moving at 6. They're moving in the same reference frame. They're moving at the same speed.
Yeah,
and I can treat them in the same manner.
Exactly, they're in the same reference frame. So
what if I wanted to jump out of an airplane and land on a boat? How many reference frames in that?
Because when you're walking, you're not in a different frame. He presumably thinks the car's moving at 60 miles an hour. Hold on, no, they're not moving. They're not in a different reference frame either. I mean, the guy is.
It's because they're yelling like you do, Rumpus.
Sorry.
So I was going to start yelling like you do.
Rumpus, you know,
I asked a question. I said, how many reference frames if I'm in an airplane and there's a guy on a motorcycle and I'm trying to shoot him? And now I'm asking, how many reference frames if I want to jump out of an airplane and land on a ski boat?
Have probably about 4 different reference frames to consider if you wanted.
No, only two. Only 2, Q.
You need to read up on reference frames, Montreal. You have no.
The one that you're in the plane, Q, that's one reference frame, and the one when you hit the ground, that's the other one.
Wrong. I'm not hitting the ground. I'm trying to land on a boat that's traveling in the water beneath me at like, say, 70 to 80 miles an hour.
Person on the boat.
I'm in an airplane.
Yeah, the person
And I'm
on
going
the
to jump
boat
out of the airplane, and then I'm going to get a parachute, and I'm going to sail down in the parachute to the boat that's traveling from a plane that's traveling on an earth that's spinning. Yo, what's up?
Yeah, to understand.
Can I simplify this for you guys?
Let George finish, because I think he's going to explain something, and I'd like to hear.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, George.
If you wanted to describe this problem that channel Q has just described, to do it mathematically, you'd attach a coordinate system to channel Q, to the plane, to the motorboat. So you'd have 3 reference frames, and then you could also attach one to the surface of the Earth to have a 4th reference frame, and you can interrelate them all through relative velocities that they each have relative to, say, the Earth. You could pin your primary reference frame to the surface of the Earth. Channel Q is on in the plane. The plane is moving relative to the Earth. You could attach a reference frame there. You can attach a reference frame to channel Q. She leaps out of the plane. Her reference frame now is moving relative to the Earth's reference frame, moving relative to the Earth's reference frame, and moving relative to the jet ski or the boat reference frame. So
ultimately, what you want to do is to
do it, but you could collapse some of the reference frames and put some of the objects all in one reference frame. It just depends upon how you want to analyze the problem.
Exactly. You want to reduce it to having just 2 reference frames, you and the target you're trying to get to, and then you can eliminate all the others, and then you can work out what you have to do to hit that target. You reduce it to 2.
I never heard so much word salad on a simple thing in my life.
Understand
let me explain it simply. Listen, you idiot! Don't rumpus me. Shut the fuck up.
Come on, stop with the moron.
But the
so I'll be polite to you if you're polite to me. I'm a very polite person.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Yeah, it does, because he's doing a Dunning-Kruger. He's asserting he understands it.
No disrespect to my shit. Thank you.
He's asserting he understands this, and he's taking quite a strong attitude with it. And if you're going to assert yourself strongly and you're talking bollocks, you're going to get criticised.
No.
Rumpus, I wonder if you would talk like that if you were in front of my face.
But
I would.
His argument has nothing to do with a personal attack.
No, he's made it. All he's done is said I'm wrong. He's not provided any argument other than saying I'm wrong,
So,
and he's been
you're
quite
wrong.
emphatic
What I'm
about it.
saying is, Rumpus, would you be talking like that to me?
Montreal. So him saying you're wrong means he's a moron?
Well, it is when someone asserts themselves as confidently, as emphatically as he is doing, when he's completely and utterly wrong. If he knew
oxymoron is the word you're looking for.
Well, hang on, Rumpus.
Oxymoron.
I've heard you be wrong, and you're probably the most confident person in your own information.
I have very occasionally been wrong. That's true. Very occasionally.
So what's the difference?
Well, then I go and research. If I have been, I can't think of a particular example of having been wrong. Except I was wrong about something a few days ago. Whatever it was. Something anyway, I can't remember what it was now. But then I go immediately, if I am shown to be wrong, I then go and think about it and say, oh yes, I was wrong, and then research it. Whereas this guy has got nothing more than QE's parroting QE's position. He clearly doesn't understand what reference frames are. He has presumably not researched this, and he's just asserting that QE is right. That's all he's doing.
And I agree with you.
And he's being emphatic about it.
You're right. But here's the thing. Where does moron play a factor in any of that besides your own personal vendetta?
Because it means you have no self-awareness. He doesn't realize what he's got to do to make himself right, whereas I do.
No. It's your way of trying to tell him you're better than him because you think you know better. Now, Rumpus,
listen, Rumpus, when you call people moron, that's you doing stuff because you choose, because you've gotten frustrated with the conversation, not because of anything else.
I heard you call.
I don't mind him being an idiot.
Yesterday,
what I object to is the fact that he's so confident in his idiocy.
Yeah, but yesterday you
May I answer him, please, team?
Yeah, hang on. You were talking to somebody, and you were calling them a fucking moron over and over
No,
and over.
No, I never called. No, I never do that.
Not the fucking part.
Just
Okay, not the fucking. I say fucking, so that's why I said it. Sorry, but you do that on a regular basis. No one needs to trigger you. You just do it.
Well, I do that to people who are being emphatic about their position without thinking. I don't call idiots idiots just because they're idiots. Only idiots with attitude who are too stupid to understand they're stupid I have a problem with.
But you do realize that, like, you put yourself in this situation all the time where...
I can prove that wrong, Rumpus. I could troll you till you start calling me an idiot. And I wouldn't even have to get an attitude. I just have to keep telling you were wrong about things.
The question is, does that help the conversation? Does that help the other person at all if you call them a name or call them an idiot or call them stupid?
All I have to do is tell Rumpus he was wrong about everything he said and refuse to listen to him, and I would be an idiot and a moron in like 3 minutes, dude.
Hey, Rumpus, you said a lot of information yesterday, right?
You do have that special power channel key.
Well, I honestly, and I'm being honest, I don't remember any of it because I was too busy hearing you do that stuff and telling you to stop. That's what happens when you do all that utter moron shit. Like, your information that you have, you're a smart man, everyone knows it, you ruin it.
Well, perhaps I'm a flawed character. Who knows? But what I do know is that Montreal doesn't know what a reference frame is. And the fact that he's lecturing us upon this and then telling George and me that we're wrong when he's totally and utterly wrong and knows nothing about the subject is quite annoying.
Okay, well then, rather than just calling him a moron,
may I please answer him? May I please answer him?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. You've been.
That's very honest of you to admit, Rumpus.
Okay,
Thank you.
Two things. Rumpus. Number one. I wonder if you would be calling me a moron if we were face to face.
I would, yes.
That's number one. Number two,
if you have
I think your problem is. I think your problem is when you were a kid, you never got a good beating from somebody.
No, I didn't. No.
Now, this is what you needed to get you into shape. You needed a good beating when you were young.
This is your argument, is it, Montreal? Typical. You're stupid and
No,
you're
I'm talking personal now.
You can't stop.
I'm addressing the moron part.
Okay, how about this?
So number one, if you were in front of me and you called me a moron, you'd be in for a shock.
Okay, here's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you would
stop talking about this. I'm gonna start fucking kicking people off my panel. How about that?
Yeah, I don't understand why you're going to this.
I thought I was allowed to answer him, Sheen, but I guess
not.
not.
Answering or threatening.
Well, here's the thing. This is gonna keep going. Rumpus is gonna have something to say. You're gonna have something to say. And I'd rather just stop. Keith needs to stop. You need to stop. Whoever else is doing it needs to stop. Everyone needs to stop. It's ridiculous. We're fucking adults, and you're a moron. No, you're a fucking pencil. You're a fucking crayon biter. What the fuck?
You're right, Sheen. Everything was going well until the Rumpus came in.
Montreal, I think what we've commented, we're kind of like Rumpus's peer group, so we've made comments on on his attitude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we've all met, so we don't need to take it any further.
Exactly.
We all think he was wrong in the way what he was calling you. So, we can draw a line there. Making a threat over the internet is pointless.
Yeah, we're not trying to escalate.
I didn't make a threat. I didn't make a threat.
They're talking about
you were going to. That's where you were
in my
going.
face type thing.
Yeah,
like I'm saying, if you were face to face with somebody, would you call him a moron?
You told him that's what he needed. So stop being a liar.
You were lecturing.
No, I told him he needed a beating when he was young. I didn't say I was going to beat on him. I said he needed a good beating when he was young.
You said that's what
so he can watch his mouth.
Okay, let's drop it because otherwise Sean's going to kick us off the panel. I think we've all made the point, and hopefully we can draw a line under this and move forward.
Yes, we all agree that Rumpus was wrong. We don't need to escalate it and turn this into a burn Rumpus.
Because now I'm starting to think you're wrong too, Montreal.
Yes,
because you're taking it too far.
When you continue,
respect to everybody.
Okay, cool. I like it.
Can we all just get along?
No, but
peace and love.
But we can try.
No.
Okay, so
look, I'm not confrontational unless somebody calls me a moron.
Okay, well, nobody's going to call you a moron because we've all agreed that you won't.
Talking about it now.
Well, don't lecture people about subjects of which you know nothing and insert you're correct.
Drop it now. How about this? The next person to bring that subject up, I'm going to boot you off my shit.
Moron.
Yeah. She's going to get special treatment, I bet.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, she does. Yep. All hell Q.
Bloody
All
hell.
hell Q.
Okay, so I think we've put the sea sparrow to bed.
Good night, Sea Sparrow.
I think we launched it way over the horizon.
Yeah.
I would just say
25
to
miles.
anybody,
That's what Rumpus said. 25 miles. That's all we need.
but this way, anybody who follows QE, fact check them. I guarantee if you fact check him, show your work, present it to us, I guarantee you he'll be wrong, even to yourself.
I will do just that, Scene. Promise.
Do you understand the Coriolis effect?
Oh, come on. Let's move on. All I want to say is, as I say, I've put all the links, Montreal, into the side for everything that I was looking at.
And I'm going to put those in that website.
Okay, we will revisit this topic in the future.
Well,
Cool.
Hang on. Wait.
The topic what I'll try and do short.
The
sorry.
same thing. Well,
what I was going to.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what I was going to say is I will actually look into battlefield awareness and usage guidance around it as well. I should be able to get hold of that, and it's not classified or anything. It's just stuff I know where to find.
I want some classified shit.
Appreciate that, Drews.
Dude, this is what you do. Get the classified stuff. We'll think of some code names or code words to signify other words. And then we'll write a children's book with the code in it. Then we'll read it to school children who will then be indoctrinated with it. And I don't know where I'm going to go from there, but I think that's how Flat Earth would think everything went.
I like that, but there's one word we're not allowed to use, and that's Aristarchus.
No, that's PMAR.
So does that mean the dodo is allowed?
Don't say his name; he'll appear.
Yeah, please don't.
He can appear,
Isn't
but he ain't
Slick,
appearing on here.
Slick still in here?
Yeah, Slick's here. Or he was.
Oh, Jesus.
Slick is listening
he's here.
and absorbing, and
I like
probably
Slick.
doing lots of chores or a workout.
Once you get past that, I want to argue with
That
him.
would be my
It's
guy.
fine. It's a fucking normal conversation.
The heck are y'all talking about?
You can't
Ain't
go
nothing
on.
baby face. Wait, show your picture. He grew a fucking beard over the stream. He was clear face. His cheeks did not have hair on them in the beginning of this. Someone. Yeah.
Hang on.
I'm telling you right now. Hey, somebody in
You're
the chat.
you're definitely 40 years old, man. You've been lied to
Somebody
us.
in the chat.
It's a conspiracy.
Please go back in this stream to where Carlos was. I'm telling you right now, his cheeks were shaved completely.
You messed up. You're a racist white man. I'm not Jose.
You know,
Carlos.
You racist white man.
There's a great name in the chat. Village Idiot Control.
I
It's a
love
great name.
Brilliant.
Look at Carlos has to keep changing the way he looks so he doesn't get busted for all the graffiti.
Freaking bitch.
Crossing the border with
Hey, Sean, you're right.
I know, but what am I right about?
Oh no, sorry. When we first saw Carlos, the image quality wasn't very high, and you can't see his whiskers. But then when he turns and faces the camera, you can.
Damn.
So he hasn't grown it. He hasn't grown it in the space of a couple of hours.
Hang on. I gotta do the Rumpus pose here. wrong hand.
Oh, please don't eat
Wrong
out of plastic. Don't eat out of plastic cups, Carlos. Get some glass.
Whose mic is echoing, man? Because it keeps saying it keeps echoing.
Global warming is a hoax.
Mute your mic.
Carlos, you're echoing because you've only got
Global
one of your
warming is the
earpieces
wrath
in.
of God.
Fine, I will mute it.
Yeah, go on mute, sir.
You're echoing.
The Dutch are the root of all evil.
Flat Earth could be the wrath of God for all we know.
It's not echoing for me. I don't quite know why it's echoing for people.
It's because you're in your own echo chamber, Rumpus.
Very
Burn!
I'm only joking.
I'm gonna let that one slide.
Don't bite my head off, mate, because I can't handle you.
Well
okay. You've never given me cause for you're humble, explore the truth, and people who are just exploring and interested in the truth. I never have a go at them. I only have a go at people who have attitude and who think they're right. in the face of the facts.
Yeah. You know, there was another joke I could have inserted there, but you were very polite.
This panel
so
is toxic. It's toxic masculine. This is toxic masculinity. I can't take it. I'm out of here.
That's why his beard's growing so quick. He's breathing on it. There's something in your breath, dude. You keep wearing that mask.
It's called knowledge.
He's like a chia pet.
I gotta go, guys. It was a pleasure talking to you all.
Yeah, take care, dude. It's been nice listening.
I'm worried that you're not going to go look into the stuff you said we're going to go look into now.
Yeah, next time you come back, don't say, "Hey, did you see Darren's video?"
No, I promise you guys we'll bring up the Sea Sparrow and the Coriolis on the next one.
Look up reference frames while you're away and learn about them.
Yes, Rumpus, I will. And please stay calm and don't insult people, and we'll get along just fine.
Well, don't assert things about which you know nothing so emphatically and tell George and I that we know we are wrong when you're wrong.
Rumpus, you're wrong.
Q, stop it, otherwise you get a spanking.
You're wrong, Rumpus. You're wrong.
You need to
wind it in a bit.
Q needs a spanking rather than me needing a beating, I think.
Have a great afternoon, y'all.
Misogyny.
Have a round afternoon, my man.
You're wrong, Rumpus.
Q, you don't want me to start criticizing your fashion.
Can you feel that? The anger.
Why you dressed like you don't Again, you're wrong,
That's
Rumpus.
funny, that is. That's brilliant.
What, anger about what?
No, I could feel when she says you're wrong. I could just feel this vibe coming from you. Like you was
I don't. When Shawn
you're like, why am I wrong? Tell me now.
How could I be wrong? And there was only one thing I've been wrong about in the last month, as far as I know. There was one thing I did. I might have been on this channel. I'm trying to remember what it was. It's a very rare event.
Why you keep track of how many times you're wrong, Rumpus?
Why do I?
Yeah.
I think
I find it pain. I don't have any option. I find it so painful when I've done something wrong.
You say you were wrong about one thing.
You gotta get over
it. Yeah, one thing. I did say one wrong thing a few days ago.
I think you're
striving to be the best.
I think you're wrong about
Look, Rumpus, this is why you latch out at people.
Hold on, Carlos is telling me I'm wrong about something.
So you're wrong about the amount of times you were wrong.
Yeah, that's true. I might be. I might be twice wrong. Damn it! Oh my God, this is getting out of control.
No, actually, Rumpus, that makes you wrong again because you'd have to be 3 times wrong.
Yeah, it's getting worse. I find it stopped. It's exponential now.
I don't know if you're
growing out of
get
control.
back to being right.
It's like saying, "Oh fuck, sorry for swearing."
Hey, Rumpus, what do you have against plastic?
Well, also it looked like you were drinking some horrible, sickly, sweet yogurt drink thing that Americans seem to go for, which is a really sad indictment of what are those? Not they called milkshake type thing, which they feed to children. No.
It was actually lemonade. Strawberry
slurry.
It's actually actual lemonade with actual strawberry.
Because I saw a program about Jamie Oliver. Americans, for some reason, seem to think it's suitable. To feed young children very sugary milkshakes, which gives them diabetes. And there seems to be something like drinking.
So we told you were wrong. So now you want to attack everyone in America.
No. He's right though. Because
all the people in America.
Guys,
they sell a small
because
milk.
Rumpus was wrong.
Yeah, milkshakes have never ever given anybody
Milkshake
diabetes.
their child abuse.
Oh, they have.
Child abuse.
Sure. Jamie Oliver did a program. I think it was broadcast in America. Sorry,
you're biting. Sean is winding you fucking up like a melon.
Dude, fucking Carlos is drinking a smoothie anyway. He's not even drinking a milkshake. He's having a smoothie.
Unfortunately, Rumpus, I'm about to tell you the same thing.
You're wrong again, Rumpus.
If I'm debunking you, you need to rethink what you're doing.
No, hey guys, Rumpus is right though. There's a lot of people who sell those milkshakes, chocolate milkshakes,
child abuse,
and they give it to kids as if it's something nutritional. But there's so much processed sugar in there. And stuff that really shouldn't be consumed daily. I mean,
aspartame, false sweeteners, which is linked to.
Well, it's just the quantity of sugar that's the problem. And Jamie Oliver did a program about this on American school dinners, and they showed that they fed them all these incredibly sugary milkshakes, and that the incidence of diabetes in American schools, even
Type
young
2.
children are getting type 2 diabetes. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, your body was not made to process all the stupid sugars. See, this is the amount of water I drink a day plus when I get home. So that drink you saw.
You're forgiven, Carlos. Okay, I thought you were sucking away at sugary drinks.
I am aware because I used to drink sodas all the time, and
right.
I don't drink any out of the can.
Good man, Carlos.
I'm actually now really concerned that is not a lemonade shake there, but a peach shake.
Oh, part of the problem, Rumpus, is this sort of superior arrogance that you Brits tend to have regarding us Americans. That's why we dumped your tea in the harbor.
With all this generalization.
Be less arrogant.
Yeah, they serve blood sausage for breakfast, and then they criticize our milkshakes.
You know what?
Well, you've got bloody Trump.
How's America give all his babies diabetes?
You guys all sound funny.
Well, with Trump in charge, you can't accuse any other country of arrogance. I mean, my God, that guy's...
Is Jamie Oliver, Rumpus, is Jamie Oliver, he's going to start protesting outside of, like, Wendy's and shit and being like...
leave Rumpus alone.
And child abuse, discontinue frosties. Is he going to go do that?
I think it's at some point we need to do a U.S. versus UK.
Yeah.
In all seriousness,
we're going to win on trees. We're going to win on trees, yo.
Sorry, in all seriousness, one of the things
you guys ain't got no trees,
they got loads more trees than us. So one of the things that Jamie Oliver actually managed to do in the UK is pretty much change school menus, an awful lot of them.
He did manage to change America. I can't remember where was it. I think was it San Francisco he was in, or Los Angeles, and he did manage to get them to change some of their stuff.
I just want to point out, Rumpus, you got McDonald's in your country, yo. Lots of them.
Mr. Bush.
Yeah. the Bush Senior, his wife though.
Oh God, yeah, I can see it. Nancy.
She started the school lunch thing in America a long time ago.
Barbara. Barbara.
Yes.
Barbara.
I grew up in a third world country. We don't know nothing about lunches in school.
Stop shaving and shut up.
Hannah Anderson in the chat is saying we've now got almost as bad we've almost got as bad as PM as you have now. So we've got our own sort of not.
Freeman, I was actually going to go.
Did you ever come up with the other evidences that dark matter exists? You said there was like a whole bunch, like 10 or 5 or something.
I went to the bathroom 2 hours ago, and yes, dark matter exists.
There are about 5 or 6 good reasons why we believe dark matter to exist. Yes.
Did someone mention my name?
Currently, there's only 2.
I thought it was Freeman.
So what are the other ones? Because I only know of 2.
I wrote a song called Dark Matter.
Hang on, guys. Hang on. You do realize that dark matter is not it's not the thing. They don't know what it is. It's the observation of something observed.
It's a space holder. Its name is a space holder because we don't know what it is.
It's like a decimal point.
It's like a foster kid's name.
I think actually we're kind of talking a little bit at cross purposes when it comes to this whole dark matter thing.
You know what, Shawn? Screw you.
Because I don't think Rumpus is claiming he knows what it actually is.
No, I've said so. I
and you keep saying that, and I'm just
he's claiming.
I'm going to translate for him.
He's claiming that there's more than 2.
Wait a minute. Time out. Whoa. If there's 2, it exists. Wait. What's 1?
Well, no, they're inferences.
Just understand something. The observation that can't be explained is dark matter. Dark matter is not the thing causing anything. It's just the name of the observation being made where some shit ain't right.
Well, no, we're giving a name to the stuff that we think is causing it.
You don't know what
the
it
observation.
is. No, you're giving a name.
No, we don't know what
for an observation. You're not giving a name for something.
No, we are. We are giving a name to the
What is it?
We believe to be weakly interacting cold massive particles. That's what we believe they are, and what they cause as things like we believe they cause galaxy formation. We believe they were an important role in the at the start of the universe. We also believe we've got examples of two.
Yeah, they're called WIMPs. So what are the other things that prove it?
The bullet galaxy collision. Have you looked up the bullet galaxy collision?
There's only two evidences that I can find: spectrometry and observation.
Look at dark matter is just the decimal point, guys. If everything in the universe is just a series of ones and zeros, then dark matter is the decimal point in between them.
It's an artistic review of it.
Okay.
Okay, Maxwell, if you want me.
Hey! I've been picked on for being autistic, Rumpus. Jesus, you're the autistic motherfucker if there was one in here.
I thought he said artistic.
I did say artistic.
Did he say artistic or did he say autistic?
Yeah. He said artistic.
I don't go around.
Wait, Rumpus. Rumpus, say artistic.
Artistic.
Okay, excuse me. Does that not sound like autistic?
No, autistic is British.
No, you sound.
We say autistic.
I'm autistic.
I don't go around.
Like it. So
I don't go around insulting people at random.
You just calling people morons, and everybody lectures you.
I have to have a very specific reason being provoked.
Where have you white men's memories of what they've just been wrong?
You have more trees, but we have a much better chance of winning at Scrabble.
Can you imagine Rumpus walking around just fucking ripping into everybody for it?
Next time Rumpus calls me autistic, I'll remember he means
I'm
autistic.
very polite to people, very polite. I'm known for my politeness. But I go into another mode. But when I'm faced with someone
Rumpus is Christian.
When someone who is adamant they're right about something of which they're wrong, and they refuse to accept logical argument, and they're very aggressive, then I get agitated.
And you're outside.
Two wrongs don't make a right, do they, Rumpus? How about that math?
Well, if you can't convince them with argument, then you have to use another method.
You're going to go in circles. Two wrongs don't make a right. You're going to go in circles.
Well, it's not wrong. If it's like saying, well, if you. When we're facing some perhaps I not made that analogy. If you can't use argument, logic, evidence, and thing, then you have to use some other means of people got the wrong attitude and demonstrate to them that they have to think that they have to be more self-critical.
I think you moved to that point too quickly. That would be my
okay. Well, you're just a nice boy.
Now you guys have got this so fucked up. Rumpus is even speechless.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Rumpus, that your past occasions of calling people morons and accent led me to believe that you called me autistic.
Well, two wrongs don't make a right, but three rights make a left.
The advantage to speaking like a Brit, the whole advantage of speaking like a Brit is you can insult someone and then dial it back if they call you on it. Between autistic and artistic.
This reminds me of a time where Chemo was trying to tell me that I can't do something, and he kept saying, "You cunt, you cunt."
Yeah, that's just the accent, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I bet that was frustrating.
Well, everybody was like, "Why are you calling her a cunt?" He's saying, "You can't, you can't."
I kind of can't.
I can't prove the Earth is round. That's probably what he was saying.
Oh, very good, yes, very good key.
Yes, you need to speak more English. Speak more English, Rumpus. Work on your ebonics.
No, speak more English means more words. You mean speak more in an English fashion. You're not using an adjective and noun correctly.
Oh, work on your ebonics, yo.
Stop sounding like a foreigner, okay? Thank
you. Just work on some ebonics, yo. Figure out how to mix up your words right. What's up?
I've learned to respect the English language a lot. It's a magnificent thing when I've been around the world. And then, unfortunately, Americans do neglect grammar. Exactly, yes. They can't say... Yeah, for instance, George Bush seemed to run out. He didn't seem to be aware of about half the English vocabulary, and so it starts manufacturing words. Sorry?
Because Americans...
To say that Americans know English is utter bollocks.
Bush was an exceptional reader. He was able to read books upside down.
He was about to read them back to front as well.
Yeah.
Picture books.
My pet goat, yo.
I thought Obama, though, was a bright lad. He had a good grip of English. I was very impressed with him.
He was a clone.
Will Smith. Ask Pete Shea. No, the genius.
I think Will Smith would make an excellent president.
Oh my God!
Well, his son makes a terrible actor.
He already was president. Obama.
Look, we don't need any more actors as presidents. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I just
Hey, can anybody
could we get some humanitarians as a president? Just one, maybe one.
I just wanted to
humanitarian.
tell a secret to say "Yo home, smell you later." I just think that would be so cool. But that was just me.
Can anybody tell me the
My country's political system ain't no joke.
Wait, what about yours?
Making us laugh.
You guys have wigs, and you guys sit
Yeah,
around in
you
a
guys got
circle
fucking
yelling at
dusty
each
old
other.
wigs, dude. Wigs have been
No.
worn by like hundreds of people for hundreds of years. They're gross. What's up?
Yeah, and we don't wear wigs in Parliament.
Get some tips from
Well, the
Slick on
speaker
how we
used to
watch
until
his hair.
recently.
Yeah,
it was only recently the speaker stopped wearing wig. But if Shawn is referring to our parliamentary debates where we sort of criticise one another emphatically, that I think is a good thing. But whereas your president, he doesn't have to face other politicians face to face, whereas our prime minister has to face criticisms every single day.
He's the face of America.
What are you talking about? Right now, fucking Trump and Ortez are like gonna go and have a MMA match, dude. What are you talking about?
Hey, don't hate on Trump. He's gonna build the wall.
Trump's
Whatever
making
her
friends
name
with
is.
North Korea, so when the
Ortez,
shit goes down, he's
Orchid.
got somewhere
What's
to
the fucking name? I
communicate.
can't remember.
And that wall's gonna be flat and level, so we'll be able to do experiments.
Dude, look, Rubbers, you don't understand.
I know it will because you're gonna hire Mexicans, and they're the best builders out there. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
and the other thing is, I think there'll
Be
be
a
a
lot of
roaring
graffiti.
industry
Yo,
in
You
32
didn't even see
feet
nothing.
ladders.
You didn't even see nothing today. I saw a news article showing me how they put plastic teeter-totters on the border fence so that kids on one side of the border can teeter-totter with kids on the other side of the border. I mean, it's way better than the boy in the black and white pajamas, yo. What's up?
Okay.
You guys see? You didn't see this shit? Dude? You didn't see this shit? They got kids
The
on
little-
teeter-totters between the border.
They're little
teeter-totter?
They're bouncy seats that children
Seesaw,
sit in.
teeter-totter.
Yeah.
What's up?
They're seesaws.
Yeah, seesaws, plastic
Seesaws,
seesaws on the fence, in between.
Does that
so
mean
the
you
little
could-
kids can teeter-totter with the other kids?
Theoretically,
And the wall was
really cool
what the wall was
circus thing.
between the
yeah, you could
rollers at
put
the
a weight on one side
image.
and an immigrant on the other and bash
Launch them
knock
across
wall.
the border. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Funny.
Yo, look,
This is
I'm
very
a
insensitive,
shared
guys.
Jew. I'm a shared Jew. The image of
This is
this.
very.
I want
This
it
is
in your
very
mind.
insensitive, toxic masculinity going on right now.
Are you ready? Look
We're
it.
trying to give advice on how to get
See
over
what
the
I'm
wall.
saying? Check it out.
Peaceful, right?
What the fuck?
Seesaw, seesaw, Mexico, America.
I don't know why this is so funny, but that's funny.
That's exactly what most of the border looks like.
Mexico,
At least they're having fun now.
America.
At least they're having fun. Look at them.
Seesaw, world peace.
There is something quite
World
amazing about
peace
that,
with a
isn't there?
giant wall.
Seesaw,
Stare at where you can't
world
go.
How come our side's clean? Your side's got shit all over it.
America.
All right, Q.
Are you
we
singing
get
a
it.
lullaby or something, Q? Sounds like a lullaby.
Welcome.
See, you have to have two people on both sides. One pushing while the other one goes down, and then the one goes down, he pushes, and the other one goes down.
Oh my
So
God!
it's a,
Carlos knows how to use
you know,
one.
you-
Awesome.
Well done, bro.
Proud of you.
I was gonna make an analogy, but now I can't because freaking this Shawn is so stupid. You didn't
Start
let me finish.
presenting and explaining how
I'm
secret
done.
stores work.
I'm done. I forgot the analogy. Now I look so stupid. Thanks you, Shawn.
No, you
Thank
should do a
Shawn.
whole.
I didn't even know where I was going with that.
You should do a whole. Someone should do a whole show and just present like the elementary basics of an experiment, like a seesaw, how it works, and be dead serious about it.
No, it's got to be simpler than that then.
Yeah. All right, how to drink a glass of water correctly.
Because there's some people who need that lesson. Have you ever seen someone drink water and then their shirt just drenched at the end?
It's like how to drink water. First step, don't drink your urine.
Yes, make sure the water's not yellow.
First step, don't piss in the glass.
Whose parents taught them to piss in glasses?
There's a lot of people do that, mate. A lot of people.
Only people who fucking play World of Warcraft.
I don't get it. Why do it?
Hey, don't be mean to Shawn.
Whoa, I don't even play these fucking games.
Me neither.
We're playing a game right now.
Got to do it pissing in glasses.
Well, didn't you know when you reach level 47 in Master Wizard, when you got the key from the troll, that there's a giant. I'm just rambling there.
When do I get to call in the Predator missile then?
There's a giant amber flask.
If you're talking about World of Warcraft, you gotta be talking about like tanks and mages and shit.
I don't even know what it is.
I know what
It's an
everything
massive online role-playing game is what it is.
Once you complete the game, you have to unlock a quest that reaches the Holy Grail of Piss.
Now you need like tanks and mages and healers, and you get a group of people online. You get together, and then you go and you fight battles against other people like trolls. And
Age of Empires was the best.
I never played it. I know
that's a real-time strategy game, not a role.
Command and Conquer, man. That was the one for me.
I know. That's another real-time strategy game.
Yeah.
Call of Duty
I was busy out getting pussy. Sorry, guys.
Oh shoot!
It's all right, mate. I'm not a gamma male. I'm a very respectful gentleman, you see. So I don't go out and get pussy. I go out and charm the ladies, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay, listen to me, guys. You gotta stop. All of it has to stop. Everything you just
I'm a heartbreaker.
Everything was inappropriate. All right.
Sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, you can't talk about women or parts of women as if they're objects in your house, like a
sure.
or a chair.
You know what I would pay to see.
I was talking about kittens, yo. I like cats. What's wrong with you people?
You don't like cats. You hate.
Is that how you met Schrodinger's?
I hate cats.
Don't sit here and think you're gonna pull one on me, because I remembered everything you ever said. Ever. And not even just to me, to anyone else. If I heard you said it, it's in here.
Burn.
Wait. But you heard.
So I know you don't like cats.
I don't. I fucking hate cats.
What?
Yeah, well,
better yet, I hate Lewis's cat the most. That cat stares at me and freaks me off.
Lewis's cat's a flat earther. And
Lewis's cat's an asshole, period. Someone needs to tell Lewis.
You know what I would pay to see?
Lewis's cat is an incel, flat earther Nazi, dude. It's terrible.
Schrodinger's cat's dead, or is it alive?
Takes after Lewis.
Let's find out.
Well,
let's find out.
No, don't.
Wait, will I kill it?
You'll find out.
You might.
Oh shit! What this dilemma? I'm stuck in this dilemma.
See, I've got all the pussy I need. I've got one upstairs and one downstairs.
You need to say something about
Come here,
them
Squeak.
because they know what they're trying to insinuate.
This is not a very Christian conversation. I'm gonna have to leave, guys.
Who's Chris? I don't know no Christian.
Yeah, who's Chris?
Chris is Chris from down the road. Lives next door to Jeffrey.
I know a Chris, but he's a gossip girl.
You a bunch of girls.
Oh, get you.
Oh, hi.
What the heck, farmer?
What?
Oh gosh, you bunch of kids. Let me just. You know what? Why don't you guys go on mute?
Said the youngest one in here.
Why don't y'all just go on mute?
I'm a human being. I'm not a goat. I'm not a baby goat. All right. I take offense to that, and I'll take the gate too.
You're a big girl then, huh?
I'm a big girl, Big Bertha.
Big girl, Panny.
I think Slick likes big girls.
I don't know what happened to you guys, dude. Your estrogen levels might be getting a little high. Are you stressed?
I'm high as fuck.
I'm a real boy.
When men get stressed, they turn into women.
Well, according to what's his name, Pichet, Rumpus is not even real. His earlobes are too low.
Rumpus is the first AI ever created.
I'm cyborg.
Look at the problem with Rumpus's earlobes. Probably has something to do with wearing very heavy earrings when he's not on the internet.
If Rumpus is the first AI, then we are definitely doomed because they're gonna kill us with boredom.
Rumpus isn't boring.
Cheeky bastard.
Rumpus isn't boring. George is boring.
I can. Right, Carlos, I'll have to challenge you to some sort of.
No, Rumpus is not boring. I'm just joking.
Rumpus could be the new Max Headroom.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Oh, boy. Get in here, George. Incoming.
No, Rumpus can't be the new Max Headroom. He doesn't have that self-loathing.
I'll have to challenge Carlos to a quipping competition.
Max Headroom, whatever happened to him? Oh, they unplugged him. That was it.
Batteries ran out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max Headroom.
Was Max Headroom a TV show?
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Was that based on the guy who hacked the broadcast, or was the guy who hacked the broadcast based on Max Headroom? Somebody was like wearing a mask with a weird background. They hacked the signal of a live broadcast back in I think it was the 80s.
That was all fake.
You guys familiar with that?
That was all fake.
Channel Q, why don't you go and cook or something?
That was
probably Kevin Mitnick.
This is how they introduced him.
It was Kevin Mitnick, Carlos. Yeah. It was Kevin Mitnick.
Miss
That's who it was? Okay.
Mitnick.
Why don't you go make a sandwich, Q?
Why don't you go make a sandwich, big boy?
I'll have one.
You know how to make sandwiches, Carlos.
His mom,
I do. That's why I'm that
his
big.
mom won't let him use any knives. He's too young.
Screw you, Shawn.
He keeps using them to shave his beard, so his mum's like, "No, I'm taking
his cut his own meat."
With coleslaw, please.
You know, first I get crap because I look 40. Now I'm getting crap because I look 15. What the heck is wrong with y'all?
45.
It's your fault.
You looked 45.
45 and 6 months precisely.
I never thought he looked 45. So.
Beep.
You sure as hell don't look in his 20s.
Yes, he does.
Right now he does.
No, he does not. I'm sorry, man. He does not look 29.
You don't know how to look for age. You don't know how to look for age. You guys all need to go to school.
If I stood next to Carlos, if I stood next to Carlos, people would ask me, "Is that your dad?"
They wouldn't.
Ask him. Sorry,
wouldn't.
Whatever. Your picture looks like you're that Green Reaper anyway. So.
Yeah.
I am a Grim Reaper. That's just me in front of my microphone. I just darkened it because I don't like the sight of my own face.
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
I'm still not quite sure, Freeman, whether you're saying that he looks like your dad or you look like his dad.
So I meant he looks like he'll pass for my dad. Yeah.
Right.
He looks like what Rumpus thinks throughout the day. Like, he doesn't say, just thinks.
Rumpus has a normal day, and it's that all of his shit just boils in his head, and he's polite to everyone, and he comes online and he just fucking vents it all out. He's like, "Fuck you all!"
Now I need a sandwich.
He had a bad dream, and it was
you guys even know each other.
Get on it.
You guys don't even know each other.
This is Britain. It's a small place.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make you guys all the sandwich, but I don't know if you could trust to eat them.
I'll eat your sandwich. I don't mind as long as as long as there's no meat in it. I'm fine.
Oh no, it's got to be meat in it.
Wait a minute, are you a vegetarian too?
No.
I said, Lenny, there's got to be meat in it.
I'm a pescatarian. Thank you very much.
What the fuck that is?
That means you're a pesky.
I'm a pet. I'm a pest. I'm very annoying.
Yeah, but what are you?
Yes, indeed.
No, I eat fish. I eat fish and potatoes.
Wait, so you're a vegan that eats fish?
No, I'm a pescatarian.
Vegans can't eat fish.
But vegans
can't eat fish.
Okay, but I'm trying to
He doesn't claim to be a vegan.
Okay.
I eat fish every day.
Vegetarians can eat fish.
Isn't fish bad for you like that? Can't you get like the mercury poison?
Right, but can you eat other things though?
Fish is actually really good for you. I can. I've got an eating disorder, so.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, when my father passed, I went through what I called a comfort eated, so I stuck with the same food, and I've never grown out of it.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, so I just eat fish and tater, but I eat a lot of fruit though. So I do.
Good.
Yeah.
Fish and tater.
You know nothing, so there's no point in listening to your
fruits and vegetables should be thrown out and thrown into a landfill.
The only problem with eating a lot of fish is the microplastics that are in there.
Oh God!
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's on the up and up, isn't it?
You'll just poop them out anyway.
Yeah, but it's the toxins that are in the plastics that your body is breaking down. You know what I mean? It's absorbing those toxins. It's not healthy, man.
It's gonna die.
Hey, Freeman, you smoke cigarettes?
No, I smoke cannabis in the evenings.
Okay, that's good.
I smoke roll-ups every now and then, but I'm not really a
bad
fag
if
smoker.
you do it after the sun goes down.
Well, it's this flat moon in the sky that irradiates light and forces me to smoke it. Can't do
Cools
anything
everything
about
off.
it. Yeah.
Cool light, anyway.
Makes everything.
Yeah, it's like it's like a refrigerator. I can just stick my food in the moonlight and it's chilled. It's pretty cool, man.
I put my cat in the refrigerator.
I did that when I was a kid too.
You forgot to tell me to remind you to take the cat out of the refrigerator an hour and a half ago.
Someone report Q.
My cat got in the fridge when I was cleaning it out. Thought, yeah, this will do. This is a nice.
What is it with cats trying to snuggle in weird small spaces? My grandma.
Why do they love boxes?
And plastic bags. Like, what is it? It's like they're trying to rid the world of the. It's like the sentient. Like,
But they want you to close the bag and throw it to the river. Is what it is.
Don't forget to tie it.
Oh,
no, man.
You're going to hell.
It's just a cat.
Now you're never going to be anything.
What do you mean?
I just doomed you to that.
Big blue.
Cats are the devil.
Let's do that with a group of puppies, innocent puppies, and stamp on their heads and throw them in the river. Yeah.
Why are you guys doing that?
Sorry, I don't mean that. I'll just use it as a reference.
Why are you guys doing this? I need to know what happened.
Immature.
Farmers, checking.
There you go.
Oh.
That's squeak in the fridge.
Not kidding.
No, I wasn't kidding.
Nice melons.
Thank you very much. Yes. No, I think I was replacing that door. I think the hinge broke or something. And I thought, well, whilst I'm doing all that, the fridge is turned off. I can clean it all out. I went away, come back in, and she's in the fridge like, and am I not supposed to be
Is
here?
that fake fucking butter?
Clover.
It was, but I have.
Well, you had to butter the cat after you heated it up.
Yeah.
No, he had to butter the melons, man.
Whoa. We're talking about cats and melons. Okay.
Well, that's what's in the picture: cats and melons
let's get
and
back
butter.
to the shape of the earth.
Oddly, a
or something
screwdriver.
else. Please.
Speaking of melons, what shape is the earth?
Oblique.
It's a triangle.
Well, it's like a melon, isn't it?
Depends.
When life's got you down, Mrs.
It's
Brown.
it's a sphere that is being
When things
pressed
look
against
dull.
itself and is becoming flatter.
Well, it makes you feel all sort of insignificant, doesn't it?
The earth is getting flat.
Oh, go on, man. Take me liver.
Yeah. Can we have your liver then?
The
Go on
poles
then.
Probably from all the roads.
The poles are actually getting closer to each other.
Yeah, but the earth is just going to flip over.
According to Bro Sanchez, you can draw a 361-degree circle.
According to Bro Sanchez, the moon.
Let that sink in.
Oh, great! Here comes Lewis. All right,
You
everyone. Lewis is here. Don't let him know we were talking about him. Hey, Lewis.
Speaking of cats and weird things, what's up, Lewis?
How's your fucking asshole cat?
Going back to that reference, though, Farmer's Boy. You know, the Monty Python. You know, they did a lot of scientific research to accurately make that song as correct as possible.
I believe some
What
of
was the
it's now
independent
out of date,
variable?
isn't it?
Sorry.
I think
What
some
was the
of that-
independent variable?
Oh, hush, boy. I think some of the figures they use in that song have now been superseded. If I
Oh
remember
yeah,
right.
yeah. But I'm saying during the time they went out the way to actually be as precise as they could be.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's just a little fun fact, really, about
If you could
Monty Python.
remember the song, then you could remember all of the salient sort of velocities and distances and.
Yeah, the width of the galaxy and all that.
But I still say the most accurate part of the song at the very last line.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Pray that there's intelligent life somewhere up
Well,
in space because it's bugger all down here on Earth. Clunk. The bridge closes.
Is that video I just posted racist?
I didn't watch it. Why, you want to be
Was it?
racist?
It's only racist if you're white.
No, I don't.
What race are you, Max? Max, what's your race?
Filipino.
I'm just a being. I'm a being.
Oh, hey, what's up?
You're fucking being? No being.
I'm an attack helicopter.
If we're going to use pronouns, I want to be addressed as a being.
No,
You need to be a communications major and fix that goddamn microphone.
I broke it because he's not a being.
Maxwell, did you just share the link to this chat in the chat box?
I don't care. I already did.
Yeah.
I already did.
All right, I was just going to say it'll be seeable. You'll be seeable. What the fuck am I saying?
The only time I don't want a link shared is if you see this. You see my microphone down at the bottom? When you see this, don't share that damn mic unless your name is Q.
I don't see anything.
Huh? I didn't say you said anything.
What am I seeing?
Yeah, everything just went quiet.
What am I seeing?
What are you
I didn't see anything.
I'm kind of worried about you guys. What are you talking about?
Where am I looking?
Big Blue, have you seen that video?
Never mind. It was that big of a deal.
It's actually funny.
What video are we on about now?
Captain, we too low?
It's stupid.
Something wrong?
Oh, I've seen that video before as well, yeah.
Is anyone else going live? I'm usually live right now. Who else goes live right now? I'm thinking about starting a new one.
Slice vs. Kane is supposed to be going live.
I don't ever watch him.
But he's just going to be talking about FE Core.
They're fake.
Oh yes, yeah, because the time that come up on his post was wrong, wasn't it?
Hey, Shawn, are we just going to continue to let this Lenny Harry guy be like this? Is this okay with everyone?
I wasn't watching him again. Put him on restriction before, but
I
how
have
bad is he getting right now?
that he's actually. I have suspicions that he's actually PMARS.
Just.
He has a lot of content, though. I think. No, actually, he doesn't. I don't think. I remember.
Oh yeah, that last comment is a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to do something, but it's not my place to.
We can't do anything because he's wrenched. I think there's more than one of them too.
No, there's not. I actually have to check because I've noticed that probably next week or so, because it's gonna take me a fucking long time to do it. Everyone's gonna lose their wrench, and then certain people will get it back because I have sock account mods, and all they're here for is to unblock other people that got blocked.
You got one of me. You've got one of me.
Huh?
Sometimes when I ban, like I banned one of Chris, Chris McMillan, Roman numerals. I banned one of his socks in here, and it was unbanned by me almost immediately. So there might be like
I spotted that.
Yeah. Okay, and this is also another thing. So if you live stream, anybody who's listening, where your community settings are and those names, you'll notice when this is happening because names start changing. You start noticing that, like, I thought that name was there. That name wasn't there.
Yeah, I've noticed they'll capitalize or decapitalize.
Yeah. What happens is they keep swapping their names. They change their names or swap accounts, and all it does is refresh it.
Well, if they're not jerking off in the mum's basement, they're online trolling. What can you do, eh?
They're doing that, but to your avatar.
They can jerk on my avatar if they want. Take that as a compliment.
That's not what he meant.
I can't see much. It's pretty pointless.
Lenny Harry's had a bit of a bit of a thing for us meat eaters this afternoon. Man.
Every time you say that, I just think of Lenny Henry in the hotel advert.
As it happens, Karen B is planning a Flat Earth meetup that, let's see, Bob from Glowbusters will be there. Jaronism will be there. Rob Skiba will be there.
So everyone showing up, we now knows it's not flat. Everyone at that meetup.
Oh, even better, I've got some of these dickheads showing up on the other side of town from where I go paintballing. on the weekend I'm going paintball.
That's a shame they're not in shooting range.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it is just a toy.
Hey, they're paying for a fucking toy. You come over here and get shot in the face.
I dare these motherfuckers coming to my town. Where are they going?
I believe it's going to be in South Carolina. I'm not sure where.
South Carolina.
That only takes me like fucking 11 hours to get to.
Who's coming? Antifa?
No. No. Karen B, the Flat Earthers.
How are your friends doing, Lewis? I haven't seen them in a while.
My friends? Oh, the Nazis. No, they're not my friends.
They just follow you.
And I haven't seen them in a while. Well, the last time I went live, so I guess I have seen them in a while.
He lied to me. Jeez, Lewis. Come on, man.
Lewis is good to the truth sometimes.
Is Lewis a Nazi now? Alles klar, Lewis.
No, I'm not.
We're in South Carolina, Lewis.
All right.
You didn't have to answer that, by the way. That's
I thought you said we are in South
No,
Carolina.
no. I said where. Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't able to get that far in the conversation, and I didn't really feel like pressing it because
it's northwest south.
I'm not really welcome in their presence, you know.
Northwest South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't they go to Louisiana and explain
Holy
why
shit.
the ocean isn't flowing into the freaking state?
I can be in Northwest South Carolina, fuck all kinds of shit up, and be home for happy hour.
Yeah.
And Lewis Lewis isn't allowed to go to Flat Earth meetups because he's a slut.
Oh, well, I mean, you'd be surprised what I can get away with. Anyway.
That tells a lot about your character, doesn't it? Are you sure you're not a Nazi?
I'm proud of you, buddy.
Well, I guess it depends on who you ask. Let me see. I'm going to Louisiana this weekend.
But don't ask me.
And I'll be taking photographs with my P900 of Lake Pontchartrain, of course.
What about yourself?
I'm sure I'll take photos of myself taking photos of Lake Pontchartrain, Sean, and you'll be there to watch it when I stream the footage.
Oh, that's the best thing in the world, watching Lewis, recording nature. Awesome.
Why do you want to take pictures of that bridge, Lewis? It's already been done.
Because it's one of a kind.
It's not one of a kind.
There's actually two bridges. There's side by side.
There's one in Japan that's longer.
I can't go to Japan.
You can. Stop limiting yourself.
Once you can't see the other end of it, it doesn't really matter how long it is.
Word.
It's perfectly straight. It's the same elevation above the water, and it's 24 miles long. So it's
What apparatus did you use to determine that it was perfectly straight?
It's very unique.
A flat earther's flat level.
Should go and check out the Great Wall of India while you're there as well.
Yeah, in Louisiana. Yeah. I'll just stop right over there.
Well, that's what Columbus thought. You know, it's the Indians.
It's true. He died. He died thinking it was the Indians.
I don't even think he ever made
Columbus
it to America.
didn't land in America. He landed in Central America. So I don't know what's wrong with you guys in your history.
The Caribbeans.
Whatever.
It's not whatever.
Make me a bacon sandwich.
How do you keep saying that? If you're hungry, go get a sandwich. You don't even eat sandwiches. Go get some fish and chips.
First time I've mentioned it. Calm down.
I'm just saying, man. You mentioned you eat fish 1,000 times, so now I know that.
You do know that. You'll never forget it.
What about goldfish?
It's the trait of an incel to constantly ask women to make them sandwiches.
Goldfish, I do not eat, unfortunately.
Why? You eat fish?
I do eat fish, but goldfish, because they're gold and I don't want to break my teeth.
Who that?
Stupid question, you get a stupid answer.
Seems right to me.
Hey, what else do I eat?
I'm trying to figure out what do I want to do. Think about shutting this down and starting in an hour. I think that's what I want to do. So that I don't end up having... Because what happened last time, I did an 8-hour stream. If I start too early, my body's going, hey, you stream now, so you're not even tired. Keep going. But
Yeah, hopefully my friend will be on later as well.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Get some top Yeah, get you.
I constantly forget that I'm not live when I usually go live. So my day is not over yet. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this one because this is the official Jose Didn't Wake the Fuck Up stream. I'm going to end this one and then I'm going to go on about an hour, hour and a half. I kind of want to talk about the Glim thing because we kind of brushed over that. And then, I mean, we can go over this whole quantum eraser thing. Now we can all have a chance to go laugh at it real quick. But, I mean, I don't even think I need to watch it. Misinformation, moved around sentences, big-ass words and fonts.
Wait. Crank, could you just put this in a little nutshell for me? Because I missed a good chunk of the show. What was the whole Jose Didn't Wake Up stream shit about?
Oh, dude. Every time I'm live in the mornings, Jose couldn't stream because he was doing something. But I think the second time I'd actually cover from like at 7 in the morning, I was kind of irritated because he didn't say anything. We were joking around.
Oh, so you was covering in for Jose?
Yeah. So anytime I cover for Jose, I will title the stream "Jose Didn't Wake Up" stream.
Right, you had caps on, didn't you, when you wrote that, because the J in Jose is a small J.
No, that's because when you
you shift, shift and you help, but you had caps on, dude.
Yep, that's how I roll.
Yep, that's how you roll. Special.
And I don't check it, not once.
Not once. Well, why would you do that? There's no point, is there?
Yeah, there's a point. You guys will tell me.
There's no point in checking
I put gravity's evolution. Barney came in and was like, evolution of gravity. I was like, oh, duh. So
fucking Yoda.
I'm just here, yo.
Shops I will be going to now.
I'm just a bean. Like, who said that? Who said that earlier?
Maxwell said he's a bean.
Yeah, see?
Well, you know, coffee beans aren't beans.
Yeah,
well,
good little segue there.
They are.
You guys, I can't help but think we're wasting a huge opportunity. We have Slick James here, and he hasn't said a word. I feel like you should be invited.
Right, we're not going to do this right this second. I mean,
well,
I can
the problem
go live
is
in 2 seconds. If you guys want to stay in this panel, I can go live again and like it'll be probably good to go in 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
I just don't want this stream to be 8 hours again. That was hell.
That'll give me time to do it for a quick shit in a shower.
Hey!
Thanks for
not a shave.
informing us of that.
No,
for
just
no
a shit in
reason.
the shower.
It's all right. I could go deep. I could give you more detail if you want, mate. I'd rather not.
Yeah, I'd rather you not do. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to deafen you guys so I can do the outro thing, and then I'm gonna do my intro. Yeah, that's right, guys. I gotta redo everything. So everyone in the chat, I'm ending the stream. You will see a link probably in the next 2 minutes, and then I'll let them go. I'm probably gonna let you guys just bullshit for the first half hour so I can go get something to eat. But other than that,
unmoderated.
Well, see, that's the problem thing. I don't want if I say in an hour, the good conversation is done. You guys will be all talked out. Everyone will be triggered. Slick will be telling everyone their experiences don't mean shit to him. Lewis will be telling everyone that his everyone has beliefs, and it'll be hell.
And Rumpus will just be, and
Rumpus
will be the voice
here,
of.
He's going to be telling everyone how he eats fish.
Yes, my boys and girls, I eat fish. Everyone, join my crusade.
Rumpus is going to tell everyone to hold on through the whole fucking break.
Fish.
Where's Shawn? If Shawn was here, he'd be yelling too. That'd be great.
And sheep.
Okay,
and
so that's what I'm gonna do.
deer.
All right, so
Farmer's boy, what are you doing?
Give me a half a second. I'll be right back, guys.
It was all that talk with Lenny earlier on, and he kept sort of having to go at me, and I kept putting down things I like to eat. You know, like
in the chat, in
the chat, because he was getting more and more triggered. And I'm just going, oh, pork, beef, venison, veal, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm getting fucking hungry.
There we go. Okay. All right, guys. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically just switch over and start a new stream. So that way I'm not going to do 8 hour and I don't have to worry about swapping it out. So I'm going to end this. Within 2-3 minutes, you're going to see another link up for me. And then it'll be this hangout. So I'll be right back. Thank you guys for being here for the Jose Didn't Wake Up stream. I enjoy them. They're fun. And see you next time.